trade is sitting really nice. So we have Indian CPI dropping today. That's going to be dropping in about 35 minutes. We got Indian CPI, industrial production, manufacturing output, as well as some people from the ECB speaking. Aside from that, we don't really have too much. We got like the Michigan consumer sentiment and consumer condition index numbers dropping today. Those are dropping at 10 a.m. We'll cover those too. So the Indian CPI drops in about 35 minutes at 7 market time. But man, the market's flying back here, man. Great to see, honestly. Let's see if we can break over 400. My Disney trade is sitting really nice. We made hundreds and hundreds from this trade already. You can see our entry here was 86 cents. We've already scaled out of a lot of it, but even this last little 10 cents has made us a lot of money. So yeah, we'll see. Char. Hey, what's up, Rhino? Hey, you as well, man. Hey, you as well, Manuel. Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to all the yeah, man, what a crazy run yesterday. All right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna bounce back, man. S&P 500 is almost back to 4,000, man. That's great. Disney rebounding really nicely. I'll probably go ahead and cut the rest of my Disney trade off once I can this morning. Again, I've made hundreds on that trade, so really, really nice trade. We'll take it. Yeah, everything's kind of running up. So for inflationary data, right now we can look at the Indian inflation results. CPI year over year for October for India is expected to come in at 7.3%. Last time it came in at 7.41%. So anything under 7.3% will be interpreted as positive for India. They also have cumulative industrial production numbers. Last time was 7.7. I'm not sure if that's one of those numbers where if it's higher than expected, that's seen as bad for inflation. Expectations are for 2% industrial production year over year, minus 0.8% last time. And so that'll be interesting. The big numbers also dropping today are the Michigan Consumer Expectations, Sentiment, and Conditions reports, or index numbers. Those are dropping at 10 a.m., and we will be covering those when they go live. Yeah, especially after today, Paulo. Especially after today, man. It's kind of this weird dynamic. How much did Bitcoin bounce back, bro? Is the real question, too. All right, so I'm looking at Bitcoin US dollar. Bitcoin's still struggling, it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, Bitcoin's pretty slow. I mean, you know, Bitcoin's still struggling. FTT dropped all the way down to $3. Here's a dynamic. What do you think about Elon Musk buying up FTX? Do you think that's like a possibility? Maybe I should tweet him. Indian CPI is the Indian version of the CPI that dropped for the US yesterday. It's just inflationary data. But yeah, Disney's up there really nice here. Bitcoin up a little bit though. I mean, Bitcoin, the real struggle of the market is FTT. Bitcoin's at about 17.32 thousand. It's been a tough time since December of last year. At November of last year, Bitcoin was at right under 60K. It's currently at 17,000. S&P 500 though is doing really nice. Look at the S&P 500, man. Will it break 4? Let's do a poll here. Let's do a poll. The poll is gonna be: will the SPY break 400 today? Yes or no? Vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, it's definitely possible, Ricky. I mean, I think this is a little bit of an overreaction, but that's fine, I think. Tron founder Justin Sun says he's ready to provide billions to help FTX, Bloomberg reported. Sell the rip today. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna hold. How do we expect Indian CPI data? So Indian CPI data is scheduled to drop in about 23 or 26 minutes. I'm sorry. Again, it's expected to come in at 7.3%. Last time was 7.41%. So just like yesterday, the relevance of this is simple. Lower inflation is better. Lower inflation is better. And so in that regard, we want to see lower inflation over there. We want to see under 7.3%. If we come in under 7.3%, I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have on the markets in general, on the U.S. market, but it'll certainly affect the Indian markets. And again, we'll see what happens. It should be fun to watch. Made some good money yesterday. Hey, well, nice, John. Futures overnight had a lot of movement. Still was interesting to watch a bit. Yeah, for sure, man. How's the time? Okay, so I'll give you the time. So, hold on. All right, so the CPI data. The CPI data drops at 5:30 p.m. in India. So at 5:30 p.m. Indian time. And so in about 23 minutes. I don't know. Again, vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think here, man. We got a bunch of votes already. Will the SPY break $400 a share today? 78% think yes. 22% think no. Market's still pumping up though. Look at the market here at 396.70s here. So huge green action in the markets right now. Big green action here. I don't know. Does the market consolidate? I really don't know here. It might be a slower day. Today's Veterans Day as well. And so in that regard, you know, it might be a slower day just because the bond market is closed specifically today. Hey, bud, how you doing, man? Huh? Hey, what you doing, bro? Here, dude, just ask me. I'll grab it for you, okay? We got a bunch of cords right there. All right. Here you go, buddy. How you feeling, man? Not the best. Yeah, but you're okay, right? All right. Here you go, buddy.
Could be better.
I know, man. Mm-hmm. Love you, buddy, all right? Let me know if you're feeling okay, all right?
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. SPY at 396.60s. My son's home from school today. He's been up coughing for the last like 3 hours. Hey, what's up, Jackson? Hey, thank you. He said, man, I tell you, when I first started coming around here, I was skeptical, but now my mornings would just not be the same without this beautiful voice. Hey, I've got the voice of an angel, sir. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Is the bear market bounce or start of a new bull run? I really don't know, Raul. We'll see. I hope it's the start of another bull run. You know, again, listen, I think as traders, you got to be really, really careful to not let the bears get to you that much, man. I think if you go around bears long enough, you start to kind of like side with them and you start to just believe everything's another crash is just seconds away, you know? And so it's one of those things where they're like, oh, the market's going to crash. And then when they don't, it's kind of like, oh, manipulation, you know? But in that regard, like, I think you got to understand the bias there, you know, and that's fine. They might be right. I'm not saying they're wrong. They might be right. But I think you also need to understand that crashes are very, very rare. And predicting a market crash accurately is even more rare. You know, I said it yesterday. Everybody wants to be Michael Burry. Very few people have the accuracy and the insight to actually be able to do so. So it is what it is. Hopefully we continue on this bull run. I want to see us continue to run. I don't want to see the market fall. Hey, that's right. A raspy, 100%. The most raspy, top 3 most raspy voices in the world right now. But that's okay. We'll drop the report as soon as it comes out right here. Trader turned investor now that the markets have reversed up bigly. Hey, nice, Theo. That's what I'm saying, man. Again, people underestimate how powerful blue chip healthy companies can be when time heals most wounds in blue chip healthy companies. The reality of it is people want to day trade and they romanticize day trading. And I get it. I day trade. I understand. I also swing trade and invest, though. And I think over time as a trader, I think when you first start, you know, what happens is like you purely want to day trade. You only want to day trade. You want to be a day trader. You watch all these day trading gurus post these big gains and you just want to be a day trader. I think as you mature, you start to realize you can do a little bit of everything. And I'm pretty accurate in swing trading. And so I'm not willing to give up that edge in swing trading as well. So I'll day trade when and I'll make a little bit. But I also swing trade, and I've been incredibly accurate with my swing trades. Again, my last one was Disney. I bought this one a few days ago. I had about 110 shares as my full position. Ended up making a lot. You can see my average here is 86.70s. 86.70. So my average is, look, I'll show you guys the trade. You can see this is where I started to scale in at, if you guys see this. So you can see me scaling into this trade here. You see me scaling in. Let me get the pin out. But yeah, you can see me start to buy the dips around 86s. And then what happens is I start to unload, and then I'm sitting on this last little piece. But I got out right here. So I got out right around 90s, as you can see here. Right around here. Maybe not quite 90s. And then I rode the rest up. But yeah, we're up hundreds in this trade. And you can see we kind of do the same thing every time here. We buy at lows, we sell at highs. You know, we add more at lows, we sell at highs. You know, and we keep doing this over and over again. Just a powerful way to trade. Somebody yesterday was like, hey, do you regret your Disney trade? Of course not. Like, look at this. We bought in here, we sold, and then we're still holding some, you know? And so swing trades can like supplement my trading for sure. Yeah, what's up, Swervin? All right, guys, so we're starting to rebound a little bit here. Dollar indexes, I'm sure, breaking down heavy too. Also, y'all do me a favor, hit the like button. We do have the Indian CPI report dropping in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes before the Indian CPI report drops. We will be covering that. I do like epidemic sounds, man, because yeah, I usually have some pretty good music here. So we're dipping down here. Again, I'm gonna sit in Disney right now a little bit more. Let this try to work a little bit more. Hey, what's up, NCal? I don't know if it's even going to affect the market at all, but I'm watching CPI reports across the land. But yeah, what a crazy stream yesterday, man. Yesterday was our largest stream ever. Our largest stream ever yesterday. We had over 5,000 simultaneous viewers. Hit a 30,000 views. You know? And so our largest stream ever yesterday. We appreciate everybody coming here watching these reports with us. Hey, what's up, Bulldog? Hey, thank you, brother. Hey, hope you're doing good, man. Everybody go check out Bulldog Trading's channel. He's got a great channel over there as well. What is the SPY? The SPY is the mini S&P 500. It's the S&P 500 ETF. Essentially, is what it is. It's called the Spider, but it's the Spider S&P 500 ETF. So it's kind of like the mini S&P 500 is really what this is. But the benefit of watching it is that it stays open and it correlates to the futures market, and it also stays open in pre-market, which the S&P 500, if you look at the S&P 500, does not stay open during actual extended hours trading. So the S&P 500 is closed in extended hours and then opens back up and corrects. The SPY is open. I think the SPY is open 24/7. I think it stays open all the way until midnight and then following the next morning. So yeah, for sure. Hey, wow, man, that's cool, Bulldog. I'll have to check those out, brother, for sure. Michigan consumer sentiment. Yeah, we got the Michigan consumer sentiment, consumer conditions, and a few other things dropping this morning as well. The Indian CPI drops in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right, guys. So yeah, we are in Disney right now, and again, we bought Disney anywhere between 86s and 88s. We're currently at 91s. Another accurate swing trade on Disney, man. And again, man, honestly, I can't even lie. All of this has me considering just taking some big sides on my Disney trades. I have been incredibly accurate with Disney. Like, I have not, just to put this into perspective, if anybody's really been paying attention to my swing trades on Disney, you guys understand I have not had one losing swing trade on Disney out of like 10 in the last 3 months. Not one. And I've been mostly making money in bear markets too on the long side. And so people would say, oh, well, you're just trading with the market. You know, it's easy to make money when the market's going up. That's not true. Most of the time when I've been making this money, I've actually been buying it on dips. So I've been making money buying in bear markets on the upside. You know, so I make money on the upside in bear markets, which is even more validity for the system, I think. But yeah, I'm really considering taking some size. Like I'm considering buying like 500 shares of Disney on my next one and really starting to kind of swing for it, because the amount of money I'm making is not insignificant here in my swing trades. You know, again, I mean, I'm only holding 10 shares left, but even this last little 10 shares, I'm up $50. I'm up hundreds on this last trade, hundreds on this one. And so now I think I got a little bit lucky, of course, with the CPI being favorable yesterday. But yeah, my Amazon dip made money too. My Google, I had 2 Google dip buys I made money on. You know. Hey, for sure, Bulldog. Yeah, you'll get an invite, brother, for sure, man. No, I don't think it's greed, man. I think you got to size up a little bit, you know. I think you bet it against the downside, so I think, you know, a little bit of frustration's creeping out on your end. But I think I think when you make money like this, eventually you got to scale up in size. You know, I think I have the account size to do so. Uh, and I think in that regard, you know, eventually you got to scale up your size a little bit. That's something I'm considering. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. Um, we'll see, you know, but I do have the temptation to scale up in size, and it's not greed. It's just simply when you have a system that works like this, eventually I think you need to, you know, increase your share size, especially when you have the account size that I do. Like, my account's not small. And so buying, you know, 100 shares of Disney, while that's not necessarily a small position or anything like that, it's certainly not a large position. Um, you know, spending 9,000, you know, I think my risk in this situation might be maybe 1,000, you know, so risking 0.3% in the trade, while it's not small, it's definitely, considering the accuracy rate, I think I could make a lot more, you know. Right. The experienced traders usually end up scaling up their size. Like I said, it's not like, okay, I'll put it this way. If I would have lost money, I wouldn't be considering scaling up in size, of course. It is not something where, like, okay, I've been doing this system for months and months and months now. You know, this isn't something that I just started making money with last week. This isn't something where I just started making money with, you know, 2 weeks ago. You know, this is a system that I have been talking about. I've probably talked about it a little bit too much to where it's kind of probably frustrating some people out there, because I've just been kind of a broken record about it. But the reason I've been a broken record is because it works. You know, it absolutely works. Even if you look at my Twitter page, you know, what I said a few weeks ago on my Twitter page is very true. which is that you got to go your own way in trading, is what I've kind of realized over the swing trading thing. You got to go your own way. You're going to get a lot of people that have all these different analysis that try to pull you in all these different directions. And in that regard, you got to go your own way. I said this October 28th, so like 2 weeks ago. I'm 4 out of 5 of my swing trades over the last 2 weeks. And at this point, over the last month, I'm like 10 for 12, is what I am in the last month, about 10 for 12. And every time I buy these positions, I have people call me names. I have people insult me. I have bears mostly that just try to insult me because they're mad that the market's going against them. Every single time. Amazon bought at 92s. Google bought at 91. Snapchat bought at the low 8s, high 7s, really. Disney bought at 91s. This last one, I bought Disney at 88s. And I made money on every single one. Trust your own process sometimes and ignore the haters, because in the end, you gotta, if you listen too much to that stuff, you're gonna get discouraged from actually doing what you should be doing. Now I don't know if we're gonna scale up. What I might do is I might double my size, and so I might take 200 to 300 shares of Disney now, and take a little bit larger position. I've got hundreds of thousands in buying power here, so I certainly have the equity to do so. And we'll see. But I'm definitely not. I'll put it this way: I'm definitely not buying it up here though. And so one of the big edges that I have from this system is that I simply wait to capitalize on pullbacks. And right now we're just too extended on the upside. The only way I'd buy Disney right now is if Disney pulled back to like $85. Then I'd probably start scaling it. Maybe a little bit before that, maybe 88s, 87s. But until we get that, I'm just not going to, add any more to Disney. I'll look for another extended move that I think is favorable. But certainly the next time Disney has a fairly large pullback, I'm going to start buying that thing up, Are you trolling, Solstice? Like, bro, listen, man. You said my voice was raspy, kind of a backhanded compliment. To be honest, I know you were betting pretty hard on the downside yesterday, and it just kind of comes across like you're upset, man. I mean, I get it, bro. I get it, but, market's moving up, bro. I don't know what you want me to say, man. Market's moving up. 177 people think that the market will break $400 again today as well. Did you see Amazon the other day? It dropped to 86, up 11 yesterday. Ignore the trolls. 100%. I know, bro. I gotta have the top 3 voice. I gotta have the top 3 voices in the world right now. Look, I'm gonna get these emojis out here, bro. Here, look. Pawn made me these lovely emojis here. Right. I said it before. I'll say it again. CPI drops in a minute and a half, guys. A minute and a half for Indian CPI. Again, about a minute left. We'll see what it shows up as. Again, we'll cover it as soon as it drops. Be ready. We're getting ready for it now. Will this affect the broad stock market? Probably not. But it'll affect it to a certain extent. Again, Indian CPI numbers dropping in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I sound like Batman. About 20 minutes after that, I turn into Pee Wee Herman. SPY, pull it back a little bit. We'll see if it holds. Disney up there. Hey, what's up, Humble? Yeah, shout out to all the vets. Well, I mean, we're covering it just because it's a big country CPI. I think it's relevant in that regard. How much is going to impact the market is arguable. Probably not much, in my opinion, but it'll still be an important metric to understand inflation across the world. And so to that degree, we got to pay attention to it, I think. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm paying attention to it. Again, I don't know how much it's going to broadly affect markets, but we'll see. Expectations for CPI year over year in India are 7.3%. Last time they were at 7.41%. Anything under that will probably evoke a positive response, at least in the Indian markets. Outside of those markets, I'm not sure the broad effect, probably not much. But still, hopefully we get lower than that and, we get a pop. We'll see. I've never really watched this CPI report in terms of U.S. activity, and so we'll see if they affect it, but I can only guess not much. 20 seconds. We also have cumulative industrial production numbers, manufacturing output numbers there as well. And so we'll give you guys a little insight. We also have Mexican industrial production and European Union economic forecasts at 5, which I think are already out. But here we go. Here's the data dropping right now. And There's the drop. All right, guys. So industrial production for Mexico came in at minus 0.2% versus 0.1% expected. Still no CPI drop. Still haven't really gotten the CPI drop yet. Again, we're waiting for it here, but it hasn't reflected yet. Patiently waiting for it to reflect here. I'll find it. Yeah, we're waiting. It's just kind of slow to reflect here. So, okay, there we go. So CPI is not reflected yet. We do have cumulative industrial production at 7% for India. Industrial production year over year coming in at 3.1%. It's kind of dropping the market a little bit. Manufacturing output at 1.8%. CPI has not reflected yet here. So, sorry, guys. We're going to figure it out, but it's kind of slow in reflecting on all the different platforms I'm using. So, bear with me here. Yeah, we haven't really gotten the number yet for Indian CPI. Do you guys show Indian CPI yet? Okay, here we go. Yeah, we have industrial output in India at 3.1%. India cumulative industrial output at 7%. But we don't actually have the yeah, I'm not seeing it looks like the CPI is late for whatever reason. Hey, what's up, Patrick? It's Daniel. Yeah, we're waiting to see, guys. We're waiting to see it. But again, it's slow and reflecting here. Everything else dropped. We had cumulative industrial production come in at 7%. Indian industrial output year over year at 3.1%. SPY did drop on these numbers though, so you can see the SPY dipping out here. Again, I'm wondering why this hasn't dropped yet for the INR CPI. It was scheduled for today, but it's not reflecting anywhere. So it looks like it's a little bit behind here. Manufacturing output, industrial output, and cumulative industrial output dropped today, but we still don't have the CPI, right? Yeah, the CPI is late is what this is. Yeah, I mean, regardless of that, Larry, like I said, it's not, like I said, I don't know how much of an effect it'll have over the U.S. market, but we're just covering CPI. It's important to watch. Did get a little pop here in the SPY. Look it up to 396.50s. It's important to gauge inflation across the world, I think. Well, it's not out yet. They haven't dropped it yet. Anywhere I look, nobody else has reported yet. Everything else came out, but the actual CPI report has not showed up yet. All right, we are getting some movements up here. So we are getting some movement here in the SPY. Look at that pop up to 396.60s. I mean, it's not super voluminous. But we did get a little bit of a pop. Still no drop for the CPIO. So yeah, I guess it's just late. Yeah. Yeah, they're just not out yet. I mean, we did get some reaction in markets here. We'll put the industrial output up on screen and a few of the other metrics here. But the market's kind of going up here, waiting on this data to release. Market's kind of moving up, though. I mean, that's good. Put this up on screen so you guys can see it. But again, we're just kind of sitting back waiting here. Yeah, I see several Chinese refiners will reduce Saudi crude oil term volume loading in December by 50% month over month as Field demand weakens according to sources cited by Reuters. Beginner trading at Gmail. Beginner trading at gmail.com. But I'll tell you this, I've got two main sponsors right now. I don't really want to cloud up the airways with too many other stuff. And so, you know. So depending on what your business proposal is, I might kindly reject it. But you can send it. I'll consider it. Is it crazy to buy a $400 call on the SPY this morning? I'm not buying that. Okay, got you, bro. Yeah, you got a business proposal. Hey, I'm all ears, man. I'm a businessman. I like business. Again, no Indian numbers out yet. Still waiting here. Numbers delayed. Yeah, Indian CPI has been yet to be released here. Hey, what's up, Manny? Hey, what's up, Swab? Yeah, we made some money yesterday. Yeah, oil's interesting to watch right now too. The only question about what's up, Liana? What's up, Manny? What's up, Swab, Mr. London? Yeah. The only here's the thing, right? The only problem with buying $400 call options on the SPY, I think, is that we might be extended, man. I mean, if you look at the last, and again, I try to judge extension. Extension, like I kind of, subtle bragged, maybe not so subtle, about my swing trading results. And one of the main reasons I make money on those results here, and I might actually take a little bit of my Disney trade off. I might actually just cut the rest of this. One of the reasons I make so much money on these swing trades, we're just going to go ahead and cut that. One of the reasons we make so much money on our swing trades is because we analyze extension and we play off of extension. And so to me here, and again, I'm not saying we are, but to me here, where's my epic pin? Oh, there it is. To me here, this could be considered extended in some ways. Like, look how high up we are. And so in that regard, we might be extended, and usually we get a correction back down here. Again, at the opening bell yesterday, for instance, right? At the opening bell, we had a lot of bears tell me the market was going to drop. And if you guys heard me talk to them, I actually kind of told them what we might get today, and I explained to them what was happening. And again, it kind of shows you can't really bet against markets. I literally called this out. I told people what we might get, which was what I called, which is exactly what it is, a red to green move yesterday. So we get a dip down to the volume weighted average price. I tell people this because it's very important to understand this as well. Okay. Whenever we open up really extended over the VWAP like this, right? So here's the volume weighted average price, this purple line. Whenever we open up, we open up right there. Whenever we open up really extended in one direction over or under the volume weighted average price, the market tends to do one thing. It tends to correct back down some. So generally, we tend to correct back down some, pick up some steam, and then bounce back, right? And that gives us these red to green style moves where at the opening bell, because we're up so much already on the SPY here, this is something I explained yesterday before this move happened, like as we were dropping yesterday. So during this, if you guys rewind the stream, as we were dropping yesterday, we had a lot of bears saying, see, I told you so, the market's going to crash, the market's going to fall. As we were dropping, I told him, I said, hey, look, I don't know what's going to happen. But a lot of the time we pull back to the VWAP and consolidate, and we have what's called a red to green move. And that's precisely what we get. We get red open. Again, most of this is from profit taking. Okay, so people that made money throughout all this big stuff, and we got a couple people here that did. People that make money in all of this, what do they do at the opening bell? The most liquid part of the day. It's important to understand this. What do they do at the opening bell, which is, again, the most liquid part of the day? They sell, right? They take profit because it's the most liquid part of the day. They're going to get the best fills. And so in that regard, we look at what happened at the opening bell yesterday. We get a little bit of dip from profit taking, right down where? To the VWAP. We dip right back down to the VWAP. We pick up steam, we bounce back, we pull back, we hold this level of support, and we bounce back up. You know, that's what happens a lot. It's a very common pattern. You see it very often. And, you know, again, red to green move. But at this point in time, I do think we might be a little bit extended. I think it's arguable. I think it's definitely a reasonable thesis that we might be extended heading into the open today. And so I don't know if we're going to break 400. I'm not buying call options, and I might be wildly wrong. Maybe the market flies up today and breaks $400. That's certainly a possibility. But yeah. Man, the CPI still hasn't dropped for October for India yet. Still no drop. Yeah, all good, Yowzer. We're all wrong sometimes, brother. What it come in as, Jishan? Do you have the Indian CPI numbers, brother? CPI data, 8%? 8%? Yeah, because I'm not even getting it show up on my screen here for CPI. It was supposed to come out already, but it just didn't. On every place I'm looking, too. But yeah, it didn't show up yet. Okay, yeah, it did. It came in at weird. It's not even showing up here. They literally removed it from the screen. What? Is this the wrong day? No, Friday, November 11th. Dude, they literally removed it from the screen here. Weird, dude. Is CPI not dropping today? Was Bloomberg wrong? Oh. Hey, to my Indian brothers and sisters, is CPI dropping today? I showed it was dropping, according to Bloomberg, but it literally disappeared. So they said it was dropping today, and now it's just not there anymore. So maybe it's just not coming out today. The only thing dropping is the US dollar. What's up, Raphael? Dollar index started popping up. Yeah, let's look at the dollar here. We got Disney on the left. Again, I cut my Disney trade. Here's the DXY on the left. Dollar indexes fell all the way to 107s, which is great, honestly. That's kind of what we want here. All right, we did have Indian for FX reserves dropping, so we did have those numbers dropping. But I guess the CPI is not coming out today. Maybe I was just CPI in India is November 4th. Okay, thank you, AJ. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you, DS. Man, I guess Bloomberg was wrong. We did have FX reserves drop today, so there's the FX reserves number. So we did have those numbers come out today. Okay, well, we'll cover that on the 14th. That's Monday, right? Yeah. All right, so we'll cover that. That'll be interesting. Market started to dip a little bit. Dollar index is still pretty far down here, though. So dollar index looks good down there. Let's see if it holds. You think there's ever a world where Elon Musk buys FTX right now? If the dollar index tanks, those calls will look juicy, but this market will show you one direction and take another path. 100%. Again, the reason I'm not a big call believer right now is because, frankly, I think we could be just a little bit too extended. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, guys. We appreciate you all. Looking at our votes here today, we asked people with a SPY break 400 today. 64% think yes, 36% think no. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'd be a good buy, especially if Binance looked at their books and was like, nah, you know. Like if Binance looked at their books and was like, no, it's probably not the best time to buy anything. I think Twitter. I don't know, man. Yeah, Tesla's probably reeling pretty well after all this craziness, huh? So Tesla up to 190s here, almost back over to 200 again. I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. Market crashes are very difficult to predict. Very difficult to predict. And so everybody betting everything on a market crash. Again, I saw some people telling people the market was going to go to zero and all this just ridiculous stuff, man. Again, if the market went to zero, we'd have some big problems. You know. And so in that regard, the market is not the crypto market. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen either, but it's arguable, a little bit more arguable, I guess I should say. The actual stock market going to zero is just never going to happen. The only way that would happen is if we had no consumers, no buyers, and that's just not ever going to happen, fortunately. And so because of that, again, I see some really well-known YouTubers telling people that the equities market and the markets are going to go to zero, and that's just silly. It truly is silly. Tesla 191.40s. Honestly, the market is looking pretty good, man. Price target on Disney. I'm already out, Omar. I cut it already, bro. I wrote it up from about 88 all the way up to about 91 on the last little bit. So I just cut it. I cut it about 10 minutes ago. Again, I'm not telling you guys what to do. I have no idea what the market's going to do. I might be wildly wrong about everything I do, but my Disney trade made money for sure. I talked about it yesterday. Somebody was like, "Do you regret your Disney trade?" I was like, "Of course not." I made tons of money on it. Yesterday we made hundreds on that. AMC trade. My AMC trade's even starting to reel back up too, so that's looking pretty solid as well. You love to see it, to be honest. We'll see if we keep it up. Hey, thank you, Raphael. No, it might affect the market some. We're gonna watch it to see if it does. Yeah, what's up, DS? Yesterday was a manipulated rally because they knew it could break. Just FYI. I mean, that's something bears say. I think Wild Wild West. I think that's something bears are saying. Again, it's kind of like it's kind of like AMC traders, where it's like, hey, AMC never went up to 1,000. It's like, oh well, it would have if it wasn't for manipulation. I think that what we got yesterday is a much better than expected CPI report. That's obviously why the market's going up. It's not manipulation if we come in better than expected and the market goes up. If we have lower inflationary data, the market goes up. And what I hear people a lot of times lately doing is I see people bringing up conventional inflation, like 7.7 inflation is not a reason to celebrate. If you think that it has anything to do with that right now, you have no idea what you're talking about. All right, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about anybody that says what I just said has no idea what they're talking about, because it's all relative to expectations. Okay, conventional inflationary metrics are insignificant right now. What's important right now is that inflation starts to drop, which it is, and that we are coming in lower than expected. It's all relative to expectations. Okay, it doesn't matter what convention means. It's all relative to expectations. What we want to see is inflation starting to drop. Okay, 7.7 is certainly a start, and we want to see it come in lower than expected for once, which it hasn't for months leading up to this, which it finally did. And so those two things are obviously causing this rally, and that's not manipulation. That's just better than expected economic data. That's all this is. Right now, again, does it hold? I don't know, but it's certainly not manipulation. It's just better than expected numbers. We came in better than expected. We came in lower pricing, better inflation than expected. It was the first time that had happened in months, and it's a good sign that things are starting to progress a little bit better for inflationary problems. At least that's what most people think. Yeah, I saw a few people saying the market was going to go to zero, bro. I'm sitting there like, what are y'all talking about, dude? How can you sit there and learn about the stock market? How could you? I don't know if they're just clickbaiting, which might be what it is. How could you sit there and learn about the stock market and truly think that the equities or stock market is going to hit zero? Seriously, man. I don't know what gets people. I think people turn into analysts online, and then they let that get to their head to where they start making ludicrous claims. Again, everybody wants to be Michael Burry is really what this is, right? And then when they're not, they blame it on, instead of being like, yep, I was wrong, they instead blame it on, oh, well, we would have, but we're getting manipulated here. It's like, no, man, that's the same thing AMC Trader said when AMC didn't hit 1,000. Oh, it's manipulation. No, it's not. It's just we had better than expected data. We had better than expected numbers. We had lower than expected inflation for the first time in months. We had better than expected inflationary metrics, which, again, is very good. Came in noticeably lower than expected for the first time in months. That's obviously sparking this rally. It's kind of like if we have better than expected numbers and the market goes up, that's not inflation, or that's not manipulation. That is a consequence of having better than expected numbers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not mentioning names because I don't think there's a reason. I'm not really about the drama. I don't really like drama. And so I'm not really about the drama. But I've seen a few pretty larger than me YouTubers predict the market's going to zero, and that's just silly. Yes, 100%, Jeff. I think the market will probably have lower volume today because there's just less traders out right now. And thank you to all the veterans. Truly appreciate all the veterans here. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Did NEO have terrible earnings? Why did it pump that much yesterday? Well, NEO pumped yesterday on just good market activity, good market data. Again, the CPI report is going to broadly influence all stocks, including NEO. And NEO also, I think you have to consider the extension that we've gotten on the downside from that one. NEO dropped. NEO had mixed results. So NEO had 30-cent loss per share, missed the 16-cent estimate. Sales of 1.83 billion was better than the 1.79 billion estimate. So they had worse than expected EPS, but better than expected sales revenue for NEO. Market's starting to rebound a little bit. Not a huge amount though. But yeah, they had worse than expected EPS, which is profitability. So they came in a little bit worse than expected in terms of profitability, but better than expected in terms of sales revenue. So it was actually mixed results. Vehicle deliveries were up 30% basically year over year. And so their delivery numbers, their guidance was a little bit worse than expected. And so revenue went up. Their loss got a little bit bigger, though. And so it was technically mixed results for NEO. And then they probably had some sympathy with the CPI numbers that dropped yesterday. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Hey, welcome. Welcome. Your view on Amazon? Well, I think Amazon's a wildly profitable and behemoth company that will probably go up long term. What would it take for the markets to be halted? 7%. Market drops 7% on any specific day, it gets halted. It drops 14% the same day, it gets halted again. I believe if it drops another 7% or something like that, I think if it drops 20% in any significant day, then the market is entirely halted for the rest of the day. So it won't open up until the next day if that happens, but that's very rare. Yeah, less traders because a lot of people do travel for Veterans Day. They go on trips, they go on vacations. Some schools are closed. I don't know. I don't think my kids, but I know my kids have a half day today, for instance. And so because of that, you get a lot of people that leave early for an early weekend for Veterans Day. And in that, you get lower volume is essentially what happens. But again, dollar index still dropping at 107.035, which is the low of the last couple months really here. 107s right now, which is the low of the last few months, all the way back to September. So that's amazing here. We want to see the dollar index keep falling. That's great. It's been falling like this. Yeah, this is the low of the last few months that we just hit on the dollar. So that's great. Yesterday, the guys just pushed the buy button. It's not real players on the market. Don't be fooled. 1.5 trillion from where? Yeah, I know, but okay. I think in trading, there seems to be this big urge to never be like, hey, I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, especially from bearish traders, especially from traders that are basically predicting doom and gloom, right? So if you're out there saying, hey, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, and then we rip up huge percentages, then most people, instead of being like, yo, I was wrong, they'll instead say, oh, well, this is happening and this is happening. I think traders, there's a lot of ego floating around in trading, a lot of ego. And I think very rarely will people ever really want to admit that they were wrong about things, but I think a lot of bears were wrong yesterday, a lot of bears here, and that's okay. I'm wrong sometimes too. It happens. It's normal. Everybody's wrong sometimes. But I don't think blaming it on other stuff, like, again, I'll put it into perspective. Lower than expected inflationary data, better than expected inflationary data. The first time we've had better than expected data in months, noticeably lower than expectations and lower than previous times, right? All of those things grouped together is going to cause a pretty big bull short-term run. You know what I mean? As we got yesterday. That's a natural consequence of having that type of data drop. Now, we can look at conventional inflationary data like, 7.7% is still high. And that's true. It is still high. But just like earnings, the reaction in markets is all relative to expectations, right? And we came in better than expected. It was the first time that happened in months, and we were noticeably lower than expected and lower than last time as well. And so because of that, market ripped. That's kind of a natural consequence in markets. It's not manipulation. It's not a fake out. It might correct some. I think we might be extended on the upside at this point in time. I said that this morning. I think we might be extended on the upside. I think we might see something where we correct a little bit and pull back down at the opening bell. But are we going to give up these big gains that we've made? Almost, probably not. Probably not. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but probably not. Yeah, bonds are closed today. New York market opens up. It is 7:30. It opens up at 9:30. So we got 2 hours. So you're telling me good numbers after months and months of fear isn't manipulation? Yeah. What is the dollar index? The dollar index is the U.S. dollar. Again, we want to see this lower because lower means better inflationary numbers and better inflationary pressure. Inflation is really, really rampant over the last year, and so in that regard, like the Fed has desperately been trying to get a hold of the inflation. And with that, they've been making pretty aggressive rate hikes that have been hitting the market pretty drastically, right? They're trying to do what's called a soft landing, which means that they're going to aggressively raise rates because when you raise rates aggressively, it causes short-term pain because what you're doing when you raise those rates is you are discouraging spending. That's what rate hikes are doing is they're discouraging spending. They're raising interest rates. They're discouraging spending. The whole purpose of them is that so that once you discourage that spending, businesses eventually, in order to remain competitive, must lower prices because buying dries up. Okay. They've been doing that for months and months now, very aggressively. Every 6 weeks the Fed meets. The last one was November 2nd, about a week ago. The next one's going to be mid to late December. And so through those aggressive rate hikes, the whole point is to combat inflation. And I think we're finally starting to see some optimistic signs that the aggressive rate hikes, which have been hurting the market, obviously, are starting to do some work, which is a good sign. I think it's more so optimism causing these things to go up. And hopefully, again, I'm an optimist. I don't want to see the market crash. I'm not trying to be Michael Burry. I want to see the market go up. And again, I hope it continues. But I also understand, like right now, it's Veterans Day. The volume is low. And as well as the fact that we're pretty extended on the upside now. I think if we look at like a 20-day chart, we're pretty high up there. Lows of the last 20 days are 350s. We're almost up to 400s now. So again, we are a little bit extended on the upside. I think we might have a short-term correction back down. But I don't think it's going to give up all the gains we've made and more, like a lot of people are acting like. Again, the reason we want to see the dollar drop is because the reason we want to see the dollar drop is simple. It's because the higher the dollar, uh, the higher the dollar, the more inflationary problems we have. Because the more the dollar's worth, uh, the higher the dollar, it's correlated with inflation. It's also one of those things where if the dollar's gaining value, people are less likely to invest in other things because their cash is gaining value. If their cash is losing value, they're more likely to say, hey, my cash that I'm sitting on is losing value. Let me take this cash and put it into an investment vehicle like stocks or crypto or futures or whatever. Right. And so in that regard, there's an inverse correlation a lot of the time with the dollar index, which is called the Dixie. The DXY is what the symbol is, and the SPY or the S&P or any broad market ETF and broad market in general. And so with that, the dollar has been incredibly extended over the last year during this peak time of inflation. And so with that, we want to see the dollar correct a little bit, which it has been. It just tapped under 107s for a little while. It got all the way down to 106.96, 106.97s, which is a great sign. Yeah, how good, Larry. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, crypto is getting affected. Crypto would be if FTT didn't happen, crypto would be 23, 24K right now. Bitcoin would be 23, 24K right now, in my opinion. If the FTT debacle didn't happen, Bitcoin would be way up there, way over 20K right now. The problem, though, is just very unlucky for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is that this FTT thing is an incredibly rare, terrible thing. Again, a lot of people are relating this FTT thing in crypto to Lehman Brothers and stocks. Because it's similar. Market's starting to pump up a little bit more. So a lot of people are comparing the two like that. And it's understandable why. I mean, this could be a potentially market destroying catalyst for the FTX FTT debacle. Again, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world went insolvent. Again, a lot of people are pushing DeFi now, and it's 100% true. DeFi doesn't act this way. Like the only big things like this that you see happening are from exchanges, custodial exchanges. Yeah, if CPI didn't happen for crypto, it'd be down way more, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Bitcoin would be 13K. I'm sorry to hear that, Bronze, man. But yeah, thank you guys so much, man. We broke 91,000 and we're almost up to 92,000 already here, team. Our Twitter's actually growing pretty fast too, so y'all be sure to give me a follow on Twitter if you have not already. We do this live for free. We also have a PlayStation Xbox giveaway going on over there, where if you go to the post on my main Twitter page and you retweet, follow, and heart it, you're in the running to potentially win a PlayStation or Xbox or the equivalent amount of gift card. And so go to my Twitter page. It's at Beginner Trades, or twitter.com/Beginner Trades if you want to be a part of that. Again, there's not a ton of posts. We got like 30 plus posts, but I mean, still 1 in 30, 1 in 40 chance isn't bad. It's running for the rest of November though, so hey, give your boy a follow. There's the link in chat. Hey, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, all good, Cheeky. Again, it might be a little bit slower day. Today's Veterans Day. Shout out to all my veterans. I appreciate you all. All right, SPY broke over the previous volume weighted average price level. Twitter's head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, is reportedly departing them. Also, if you're on the giveaway, you got to reply with your favorite stock market meme on that post. Alex Cohen said yesterday, I was let go by FTX today. I was in charge of all Sam's personal finances. This is my first job in finance and living in the Bahamas. I'm sad but excited to share that come January. I'll be starting a new role at ARK Invest, leading our early stage Web3 investments. All right, guys, SPY still up to 396.50s. All right, guys, market's back over volume weighted average price here. Thank you so much, bro. You have been a really level-headed influencer. I really like that compared to hypers or doomsayers. Yeah, hey, we appreciate it. Again, a lot of people want to be Michael Burry is the best way I could put it. Yeah, VIX is important to track too, AJ. 100%. VIX can be powerful too. What did I read? Sorry, I'm just kind of going through Twitter. What did I read? What was it about? Oh, the Alex Cohen post? Yeah, man. I think it was a troll post. Not 100% sure though. You know. All right, guys. Dollar index at 107.10s here. So dollar index still consolidating around 170s or 107s. Yeah, the SPY is a really interesting one to watch. I mean, I trade the E-mini. Like, again, here's the E-mini. All right, so like if you look at the E-mini, guys, the E-mini is the same price action as the SPY. And you can trade the E-mini here with no PDT restrictions. Instant settlement, shorting ability, long. You can go long, you can go short. You can do all that stuff in the futures market with no PDT restrictions. Again, here's the S&P 500 mini in the futures market. It's called the E-mini. It's the same price action as the SPY. If you zoom out on this and you look at the E-mini on the left side here, there's it's the same price action. You'll notice this is the same thing as this. In fact, the futures market actually has a little bit more liquidity a lot of the time in the futures market. And again, you can try out the futures market and get around the PDT rule and trade these big economic releases with no PDT restrictions in futures. I'm sponsored by a company called Top Step, which is a funded account program for futures. And so they give you a demo. And if you can hit the target on the demo while following their rules and conditions, then they fund you between $50,000 up to $150,000 with a 90% split. They're regulated in the US. They pay out millions. They fund thousands of traders a year. They've actually just updated their website here. You can see here. Since 2020, they have paid out 7,201,000 plus since 2020. So they're actually paying people out. And this is withdrawals. This is not just funding. This is actual withdrawals. 600 plus average monthly accounts are funded. They've been around for 10 years plus. It takes minimum of 8 days to get funded, and the average payout is processed in 7 hours. And again, this is a really cool company. If you keep scrolling down here, the base package is pretty cheap as well. It's only $165. If you use my link, you get 20% off, and you can get this for about 130 something if you use my link, right? And it's a really reasonable ratio as well. And this is a regulated company by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They're regulated by the CME. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. The ratio is not bad either. You got to make 3K on this 50K demo. And if you can make 3,000 on this 50K demo without losing over 2,000 total or $1,000 per day with 5 contracts max, which is plenty. If you've ever traded futures, 5 contracts of the regular E-mini will go against you very fast, very, very fast. And you can run up an account too, but pretty reasonable ratio. Having to make 3 without losing over 2 is a pretty reasonable ratio. I'm in the 150K combine. And again, we'll see how it goes. They are a sponsor of mine, of course. But if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. You can also find the link in the description as well. In my opinion, they're the most legitimate funded account program in the world. Hey, what's up, Mo? Inflation is still high. Why are people thinking that we have reached the bottom already? Consumer sentiment at 10. I don't think people think we hit the bottom. I don't think we've hit the bottom. We might have, but we might not have. But again, confirmation bias is a strong thing, especially for bears. Right? So like bear traders desperately want to believe that they're right. You know, they want to believe like that they've been right about their predictions, right? And I think sometimes we all got to admit we're wrong. Market has flown up over the past couple months. And I think that's making a lot of people more optimistic. And again, I don't know what the market's going to do. But what I will say is that we're not going to continue dropping forever. If you look at the SPY here, guys, we have been dropping for a year plus now. A year plus we've been falling in the market. Yes, conventionally inflation is still high, but this is a very optimistic inflation report. You know, again, when people say, "Hey, well, 7.7 is still conventionally high," that's 100% true. But again, it's lower than expected. It's all relative to expectations. Like this inflation data is all relative to expectations, just like earnings are. And so with that, we came in noticeably lower than expected. We came in lower than last time, and it's the first time that that's happened in months. And so with that, a lot of traders see it as a pretty optimistic thing, and the market's reacting positively as well. Now, I don't know if we're going to hit 400. We'll see. I think we might correct a little bit on the downside, and that's okay. But I think this is a good sign. The Fed's been aggressively raising rates for months now. And so with that, eventually it's going to start putting a dent in inflation, at least theoretically. And so I hope it's the bottom, but I don't know if it is. Yeah, you can trade micros, you can trade regulars. Yeah, it's open to non-US traders as well. The E-mini is /ES. Does anyone dollar cost average anymore? Yeah, I mean, I DCA a lot. It just depends on the time frame. A lot of the time I've been short-term DCAing lately, but everybody's different. I've been mostly doing that to Disney. I cut my Disney trade this morning, made hundreds on it. Finally got out of it this morning. All right, guys. So yeah, and SPY consolidating here, but yeah, here's the E-mini on the left. It's /ES. Hey, bro. How you doing, man? Huh? Am I streaming? Yes. All right, hold on. Let me mute it, buddy. All right. I know, buddy. Yeah, nobody knows what we're gonna get. Nobody knows what the market's gonna go do. Again, like I said, guys, it's one of those things where I'm gonna make this post to Twitter. Huh? What? You could try. Maddie's about to start to go to school though, bro. But you can go up there and see her, but she's about to go to school, man. All right, dude. Hey. Yeah, because she's probably getting ready for school. You could tell her I told her that you can hang out with her until she goes to school.
Can I have one of the
Dude, my son has been up since like 3 a.m. this morning. He gets video games back on Friday, but he's saying he doesn't feel good. He's coughing and sneezing. And then he's trying to play video games, and it's like, no. All right, guys. Yeah, and again, I'm going to say this the same thing I'm saying on Twitter, right? Everyone's saying 7.7% is still high. It is all relative to expectations. The Fed has been aggressively raising rates for a while. Yesterday's data came in lower than expected for the first time in months. This is an optimistic sign. Will it continue up? Not sure. Like that's the thing to understand. You know, it's important people understand. Like, look, the move yesterday was not manipulation. It was not the wrong move. It was the normal reaction to what we got dropping yesterday, which is favorable CPI reports. You know, favorable CPI reports. Now, in the end, who knows what the market's going to do? Maybe the market crashes down. I really don't know. What I do know is that this is a pretty expected response to that type of CPI report. You know, we came in noticeably lower than expected for the first time in months. 7.7 is still relatively high conventionally, of course. But it's not about convention right now. We've been far outside of convention for a while now. You know, what we're looking at now is expectations. You know, we're looking to see if the Fed's rate hikes are actually doing damage to inflation. That's what we want to see, right? And this is an optimistic sign. That's what people are not understanding. Again, Fed's been raising rates aggressively, right? Up until this point, to be honest, we haven't seen much of a budge in inflation. We just haven't. Like, it's getting a little bit lower relative to last time. But it's still conventionally high, and it's still been higher than expected for every report for the last few months. We finally had a noticeably lower than expected inflation report, as well as here's the other thing to understand is like not only do we have that, but now we have a full month plus until the next CPI or Fed meeting. And so we're going to have some time to sit on this and to brew on this good release or to brew on this better than expected report. And so if we're, you know, again, that's all pretty good sign, I think. You know, the next Fed rate hike decision is not going to be out until mid to late December. And so in that regard, this is a good sign. If we're going to sit on this report for the next couple weeks at least, then that's going to give the market time to potentially rebound some more. Now, who knows what we're going to get, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, PPI data will be relevant as well. Hey, thank you, Robert. Yeah, 100%, Chris. That's why we take away. We don't let my son play him during the week. It's just too much. My son has ADD and ADHD, and so if we let him play during the week, he's just a jerk. This is the best way I could put it. He's just not. He's just not a nice kid. When we take him away, he's actually a really nice kid. He's a good kid, you know, and so we don't let him play during the week for that reason. If you Google descending, broadening wedge, yeah, I mean, honestly, any technical pattern I'm not really looking at. You know, technicals and fundamentals are going to trump technicals most of the time, right? So we might have some technical patterns and flags and all that stuff. Those things don't really matter on a super long-term scale. Technicals still don't. I don't think technicals mean much, excluding extension on a long-term scale. Like you can use technicals long-term, of course, but not to like a huge degree. You know, like fundamentals are going to trump any technicals. You know, so I think that's what we got to pay attention to more than anything else. Hey, thank you, Humble. Let me see when the next PCE report is. December 1st is when the next PCE drops. So we still got like 20 plus, or we still got 20 days until that. So we still got some time before the next PCE numbers drop, which is actually what the Fed uses to gauge their numbers too. But yeah, don't fall into the trap of overanalyzing technicals long term. All right, that's something that I used to do. It doesn't work that well. Again, technicals are important to understand, but on a long-term basis, they don't mean much, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong here. And again, it's all preference, I guess, and subjective to a certain extent. But technicals don't mean much long term. You know, you can use them for swing trading and day trading, but trying to use them for investing It's not. I don't think we're going to get into a really good habit there of doing so. I think most of the time, too many fundamental question marks are going to make technicals somewhat useless long term, because there's too many nuances that are going to affect market movement in those periods of time. Like, yeah, you can look at technicals, but the CPI report dropping, the PCE report, the PPI report, the Fed meetings, the rate hikes, the Fed minutes report. Like, there's too many question marks in terms of fundamentals to take technical trades long term, excluding extension. I think extension is one of the most powerful ways to trade, regardless of anything else. So extension's fine. But I'm talking about like looking at long-term triangles, like months of triangles. I don't think that means much. I don't think there's enough traders ultimately looking for that in order to really cause the type of reaction in markets that people look for those type of things. But again, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah. Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate the kind words about my parenting. I appreciate it, guys. For sure, AJ, 100%, man. People get too wrapped up in technicals. Fundamentals are gonna far more outpower them. They're gonna far outpower technicals by a long shot. I love technicals. I trade technicals every day, but I'm not gonna invest with technicals. I'm not gonna take months and months of swing trades with technicals either. Yeah, we'll see if we get a Santa rally this year, Chris. I hope we do, bro. I didn't, bro. I wish I would have bought at 5, bro. My average on AMC right now is 730s. I'm down like $60 with my 50 shares, but still. All right, guys, look at the Dixie here, down to 106.90. It's breaking lows. So the dollar index is still breaking down here, guys. Look at the Dixie here. So it's still breaking lows. That's great. Right, 100%, Chris. Technicals are meaningless when fundamentals are ignored, for sure. All right, so how you guys doing this week? How you guys doing this week? Hey, what's up, Spec? Yeah, I hold some stocks long term, Philippe. I mean, I think that's the single most effective way of trading the markets ever. The single most effective way of trading is long term. Warren Buffett value investing, researching healthy blue chip companies, buying and sitting on them after diversifying really well for years is the single most effective form of marketing or of market activity in the world. It's the single most effective form of trading, investing, or anything. Again, buying healthy blue chips. Again, do not fall into the trap of investing in penny stocks or investing in mid caps unless you're okay with losing your money, right? You can invest in them and it's high risk, high reward. You might make money doing that. You might make a lot of money doing so, but you also could lose a lot. And for me personally, it's just not something I'm interested in. There's too much nuance and risk, especially with penny stocks. Most penny stocks fail, unfortunately, and it turns into this thing where it's just a weird dynamic with penny stocks. And I talk about it all the time where it's like penny stock investors get mad at people like me who tell people that penny stocks are risky and most people lose, right? But like everybody understands that most people who invest in penny stocks lose money, right? So
I don't know why they're upset. I mean, it's just as the young people say, that's a fact, you know, and it's true. Like most penny stocks are going to cause people to lose money. Like whether they're day trading them, investing in them, especially, is a losing endeavor for far more. For the majority. It's certainly the majority of people lose money investing in penny stocks because penny stocks, there's no edge in investing in penny stocks. The reason there's no edge is simple. With blue chips, you can bag hold a blue chip company, and if you hold it long enough, you're almost certain to make money on that blue chip company. So you could sit in a blue chip and sit in it, and eventually it'll come back and you'll make money with it. That is a huge, crazy, powerful edge that a lot of people don't understand and miss out on. The edge that you can get from saying, hey, I'll hold this thing for a year or two is so profound because it means that you can very rarely lose if you're willing to hold long enough. In large blue chip companies like Amazon, Google, Disney, Apple, you know, that is completely reversed in penny stocks, to where if you invest in penny stocks, the likelihood that you make money is very, very low. And if you bag hold a penny stock, especially, the likelihood that it's going to come back and eventually make you money is almost nothing. A large majority of them eventually get delisted and go to pink sheets. And so with that, one of my jobs here, one of the things that I put it on my back, so to speak, is I try to protect traders against that. Because again, there's a lot of predatory marketing, a lot of gurus acting like they're more profitable. There's just a lot of predatory marketing out there for penny stocks. And my job is to protect traders from that. My job is to help traders. And I might sound like a broken record. I might say it over and over again. People who are bag holding penny stocks, which I know are a few, might get mad at that. But it's just the truth. Now, again, you can make money, though. There's some penny stocks where you can capitalize on the momentum. You can day trade, swing trade penny stocks and make money doing so. Again, I'm not really one to do it, but like you certainly can. I know a lot of great traders that do so. Relentless Trader, he's a good one. He's a friend of the channel. Bulldog Trading, I think he does that sometimes too. There's a lot of good penny stock traders out there. So I'm not knocking on everybody. There's some good ones. There's some good penny stocks to attack too. But just in terms of probabilities, I think penny stocks are the worst in the market, so to speak. Yes, Margaret. I'm not paying attention to my chat. We got 500 people here. Sheesh, man. You don't respond for 3 minutes. People can start getting weird. Yeah, 100%. Pawn. A chocolate muffin? Yes. Eat it around your sister, though. All right. Hey, what's up, Ram? No. I'll put it this way, man. Carrie, I'm not going to really mention names, but what I will say is that a lot of penny stock gurus are just selling you courses. A lot of penny stock gurus are just kind of making content and selling you courses, unfortunately. And they're living off their course profits. Like I'll put it this way, right? Even the ones that claim to have so much experience, they claim to have been around for 20 years in this game. They might have been good traders 20 years ago, but the market has fundamentally changed drastically since they were trading. The market is completely different now than it was back then. Completely different now. And so if you think that correlates, if you think that translates over, you're probably wrong. You could have been a great trader 20 years ago. It doesn't mean you're going to be a great trader today because the market has fundamentally changed, especially the penny stock market. A lot of gurus from back then used to make money through mailing lists, because mailing lists, like these low float penny stock OTC companies, would get pumped up in these mailing lists. And so they would get these newsletters sent to them, and then they would front load onto them and buy it, and it would pump up and they would make money doing so. That doesn't happen anymore. Like that has been stopped at this point in time. It doesn't happen anymore. And so a lot of the ways that those traders made money don't exist anymore. And so they're simply living off courses now, unfortunately. And that's the reality of it. And again, a fool and their money are easily separated. Yeah, Larry, you know it. But yeah, that's the reality of it. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude. You know how it is, man. It's all good. But yeah, these are easily Googleable questions, though. You know, Google's your friend. All right, Spy started to rip up. It's at almost $3.97. We're about $3 away from the about $3 away from $400. Yeah, and unfortunately, what happens a lot of times in those markets, Carrie, is that they sell you a dream, right? And it's really emotional for a lot of people. Like if you're struggling, I'll put it this way: if you are struggling financially, you should never be spending your money on a penny stock course. You should never be spending your money day trading penny stocks. Never, ever, ever. Okay, if you are struggling financially, the last thing you should ever do is buy a guru's penny stock course. And that's where it's just, I have a hard time not calling them out. Because if you're struggling financially, the worst decision you could make is buying a penny stock course. Okay? Even if you're the fastest learner in the world, it's going to take you at least a year plus to really make money in trading. You'll lose money the entire time leading up to it. And so even learning day trading when you're struggling financially is going to cause you to lose more money. And you know, it is what it is, but unfortunately, day trading especially is a luxury of people who are financially stable. You know, people who have money coming in. Those are the people who should be trading because they're going to be less likely to, you know, have some big severe loss, and you know they're going to be less likely to really hurt from losing because you're going to lose. And so it's one of those things where you got to look at it objectively. Penny stocks over anything else are the worst market to get into it too. Incredibly risky and volatile, and you'll probably lose money. You know. Yeah, I always try to tell people you gotta trade small in the beginning. The reason you gotta trade small is simple, is because you're gonna lose money. You know, again, people get their pride in the way. They say, "Hey, I'm in this to make money." You know, it's like, okay, well, you're just gonna lose more money here. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna lose more, uh, regardless of what course you take. You could, yeah, and again, I'll put this out there: the content that is in those courses that they're selling for $3, $4, $5,000, the content that's in those courses is publicly available out there already. You know, you can find the same type of content on YouTube for free. You do not need to spend that money. You're not getting any secret information in these courses. They're going to try to convince you it, and they're going to flash Lamborghinis and mansions and champagne and living a life traveling. You know, you could be like me. They're pandering to your emotions here. All right. The content that's in those courses is publicly available for free out there already. You do not need to buy those courses. You know, you can find that stuff out here already. You don't need to buy it. It's a waste of your money, and it's going to put you in a worse financial situation. Spy started to pop up a little bit here. Is there going to be a pullback today? It's possible we do get one. Yeah, paper trade for 6 months, 100%. You need to at least do that. Again, most people lose, unfortunately. And so the more you get your pride in the way, the larger you trade as a brand new trader, the more money you're going to lose. Yeah, the reality of it is, guys, is that you don't need to buy a course, man. Yeah, again, the reason it takes a long time, it doesn't matter how good the course is. It doesn't matter how good the trader is teaching you. Okay? Trading is a game of conditioning. Conditioning through repetition is what trading is. And so you have to condition yourself through repetition. You got to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes second nature, until it becomes automatic in your head. The right decisions become automatic. And that takes a long time to do. You know. Yeah, I can't vet them, Carrie, so I'm just going to delete that, brother. Why is the dollar worth less? I would say the last 20 I got out of the machine seemed thin. Yeah. Again, the dollar being worth less is good right now. This is kind of what we want. We want to see the dollar worth less right now. So Justin Verlander opted out. He's gonna be free. He's gonna be out there in the market. Who do you think's gonna pick up JV? Hope the Phillies. Honestly, y'all can have him, bro. Honestly, I'm not super impressed by JV. I know he helped us win the World Series. I'm in Houston, by the way, so I'm a big Houston fan, big Astros fan. Y'all can have him. Honestly, our bullpen and our starting pitching rotation is so solid. We don't need him. Honestly, I think Javier, freaking, oh, dude, I'm running a blank. Valdez, Fromber. Oh gosh, man, we don't need anybody else, bro. We got the deepest pitching staff and the deepest pitching rotation in baseball right now. The Astros do. So we don't need Justin Verlander. He's a great player, but I think he'll be really expensive. And I think our pitching staff and our pitchers right now are just the deepest in baseball. So I don't think we really need JB. As good as he is outside of the World Series, and he's still good. He made up for himself in that last game. Probably will win Cy Young, but. Again, Astros right now got the deepest pitching, team in baseball by far, too. Yeah, it's all good, Jim. It happens, brother. We don't know if he's leaving yet. He opted out of his contract to go into. He's going to be on the market for other teams to put in offers for him. Now, maybe Houston re-signs him, but it's going to cost more. And again, listen. I've seen a lot of people hate on the Astros. I want people to understand. People are like, "Oh, the Astros will always be cheaters." That's absolutely ridiculous, bro. Like, the Astros have a completely different staff now. Like, we got completely new managers. The managers that were pushing the cheating are gone. So, like, hating on the Astros, especially, like, their fans, it's just bitter. Like, people are just mad because we win, Like, people are just mad we win. And we win, The last 6 World Series, we've been to 4 of them. Won 2 of them. We're doing better than any team in baseball right now, and people are mad about it. Honestly, we probably could win the World Series again this year, too. Or next year. Yeah, that first. Are you a Texan fan? No, I'm a Saints fan. I'm from Louisiana originally. I don't know, Spec. I don't know, brother. I don't know. I think the Astros staff might say, hey, we don't need him. Yeah, dude. Honestly, the Yankees have cheated. Like, every team cheats. The Astros just got penalized the most for it. But every team was doing it. Baseball is a game of cork bats, pine tar for pitchers. You romanticize all the yelling at umps and finding an edge any way you can. But then when your team loses by a team that does it, then everybody wants to cry about it. Again, people are just mad. It's mostly like Yankees and Northern fans, to be honest. But the Yankees fans are the most toxic in baseball, to the point where players don't even want to play there. You see Jacob deGrom opened it up for the Texans, not the Texans, the Rangers to pick him up, and so we'll see if he does. Yeah, FTX owners is getting investigated now. You're just mad. Hello. So you're a Yankees fan. Of course you're mad, bro. Honestly, it's to the point now where the whole world of baseball is not frowning on the Astros. They're frowning on the Yankees fans, bro. They're mad. The Yankees fans are the most toxic in baseball. Like players don't even want to play the Yankees in New York anymore. It's that bad, you know. Yeah, it's all good though. Hello, we can joke. Oh yeah, y'all definitely toxic, bro. Astros. This last champion, y'all can call the asterisks on 2017, but y'all can't call it on this. And y'all know we're the best team in baseball right now. It's not even arguable. People just mad. You know, confirmation bias, as I said in trading, is a strong thing. You know, I like the Braves. Wander Franco, he's a beast. I watched him get called up. I watched that first game when he got called up. It was a good game. He got like 2 hits. Yeah. All right, guys. Spy at 396.60s here. The shortstop that I want right now is who's the huge 6'7" shortstop? What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Huge, just got called up not too long ago. Huge 6'7", throws like 90+ mile per hour. What's his name? He plays for the Mariners? No, not the Mariners. Is it? No, it's not the Padres. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, Neil Cruz. Yeah, SPAC. Oh, Neil Cruz. That's who it is. Stupid and SPAC. Yeah, y'all know. That dude. That's who I want as shortstop, bro. Oh, Neil Cruz. That dude is a beast, man. All right, guys. Mark it. I'll stop talking baseball right now. Mark it up 396.50s. 396.50s for the SPY. Dollar index just broke lows of the last couple months. The last time the dollar index was this low here, let's look back. It was a while ago. The last time the dollar index was this low was all the way back in August. So we broke the lows of the last 3 or 4 months for the Dixie here. The lows of the last 3 or 4 months. The dollar index is all the way down to 106.80s. 106.80s. And again, we'll see if we actually hold. What do you guys think we're going to do at the opening bell? Like, where do you guys think we're going to go at the opening bell? Not financial advice, but how about the buying opportunity for Bitcoin? Yeah, Jeremy's a beast. Santiago, 100%. Yeah, Jeremy, that dude won World Series MVP on his rookie season. You know, so, I mean, Jeremy, all I know is we better keep Jeremy. Altuve's getting a little old. We got to keep Jeremy. We got to keep, I think we got to keep Jeremy for sure. We got to keep the pitching staff. We got to keep Fromber. We got to keep Javier. We got to keep Jordan for sure, you know. And everybody else is pretty good. McCormick, Chaz is all right. But I think the pitching staff is really what gets it done. Sell-offs at the open. I think we correct a little bit for sure. Again, just in terms of general extension, right? If we look at a 90-day chart, for instance, right? If we look at a 90-day chart, let me see if it'll let me zoom out here. I'm going to put it up on one chart here. If we look at the SPY on a 90-day chart, just in terms of general extension here, we're still green over the last 90 days. Really, I think a 90-day chart is probably a little bit too large. Let's look at a 20-day chart. All right, here's a 20-day chart. We're pretty extended on the upside over the last 20 days or so. Now, will we correct? I don't know. I think especially over the last 2 or 3 days with this big move, I think we could be a little bit extension. I think it's arguable. We're about $3 away from 400. And so I think there is an argument for us being extended right now and us correcting a little bit at the opening bell. At the same time, though, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And, you know, we do have lower trading volume today, so we'll have to wait and see what kind of response we get. Again, a lot of people, we might have a break-even day today. It might be a sideways day today. You know what I mean? But we'll see. No, all good, Spec. Yeah, I love baseball too, bro. Yeah, 100% spec. Hey, nice, Steuben. Yeah, Chaz is a beast. He's good. He's one of those players that he doesn't hit a lot, but when he hits, it goes over the fence. You know. Yeah, inflation's down, Mo. Yeah, for sure. All good. Hello. I'm a big sports fan, as you can tell too, bro. I'm from Louisiana, so I like Astros and Saints. I do like some other baseball teams though. Like I like the Angels just because they got Trout, Otani. You know what I mean? Just a lot of good players there. I wanted to see Albert Pujols go to the World Series. It would have been hard for me to root against Albert if he would have made it to the World Series, even with the Astros. You know, laggers, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's kind of what I do, Zaidi. I expect a little correction too at the opening bell. Not a huge one. I think the volume's going to be lower today because it's Veterans Day, and I think a lot of people are leaving early for the weekend to go out and do stuff. You know what I mean? But I think we're a little extended on the upside. I think that's arguable. I think it's an understandable thesis, thinking we're extended right now, short term. But long term, I don't think we're going to correct. Like I don't think we're going to crash like a lot of people are saying. I think we'll probably just drop a little bit and maybe have like a slightly downward trending neutral day is what I'm expecting here. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. There's a report at 10 p.m. But yeah, if Pujols would have made it to the World Series, I probably would have rooted for him a little bit. And I like Bryce Harper too. Bryce Harper is one of my favorite players too. Got a lot of hate, you know, but kind of proved the haters wrong. And I was kind of bummed to see him lose, but of course I wanted the Astros to win. Last year was heartbreaking, you know. Freddie Freeman is my daughter's favorite player, and so her and I watch baseball and play baseball. Spy up to 396s. So Spy starting to come back here. We're over VWAP. We still got about an hour until the market opens. There's the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment and Conditions dropping at 10 p.m. Or at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, at 10 a.m. My bad. Oh, nice, Bill. I don't know, man. Like Tate, the problem I have with Tate is simple. Tate scammed people. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any way around that. Like the Hustlers University, selling the Hustlers University course for $5,000 is incredibly scammy. It's exactly what I preach against in terms of penny stocks. And I know a lot of people agree with Tate, like politically, you know, but I can't let that overpower the scamminess of what he was pushing to people, man. You know, I'm not surprised he got banned too. Like he was saying some pretty out there stuff that, of course, was going to get him banned. And so again, the problem with Tate is simple. He was scamming people, man. The Hustlers University was publicly available information that he was marketing. Like the reason Tate went viral is because he would allow people to use his likeness and use his image if they promoted his course, right? So everybody could use his clips that promoted Hustlers University and they would get a percentage and make money from it, right? So everybody claiming that Hustlers University is so great, the reason they're claiming that is because they're getting a cut of it. You know what I mean? And so in that regard, that's how he became so viral, is because he had all these people wanting a piece of his profit, right? But he was scamming people. It was selling very, very low quality content for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and he was selling it to people who desperately needed money. And so in that regard, your boy was scamming people. You know, that's just what he was doing. There's no other way to put it. SPY up to 397s. So right around 397s here. We're starting to move up. We're holding over the volume weighted average price. $50 a month. I heard it was 5K. If that's not the case, let me see. I heard you got like one base package for 50 a month, but if you wanted to go up, you had to pay like $5,000. Hustlers University has been proven to be a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Most of the people who actually make money are the ones promoting it to other members. You know, just Google it, guys. Either way, I don't really want to argue with people about it. I think that he had some type of option where if you wanted to go meet with him in person, it costs like $5,000 or something like that. I saw a video on it, but maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong. But just when I hear a lot of people say it's predatory pyramid-like structure, you know, I'm skeptical. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna pivot. This is apparently getting people mad. I'm gonna pivot here. You know. Yeah, will the SPY break 400 today? I think is the real question. If we look at our polls right now, we got about 700 votes today. Will the SPY break $400 a share? 65% think yes, it will. 65%. 35% think no, it won't. Yeah, we're good. So again, will the market hit $400 today? No, I don't have my blue check mark yet on Twitter. I think I have that. I don't have that many followers on Twitter. You know, my YouTube will get one within a couple months, I think. But as for my Twitter, it'll probably be a little bit before I get that blue check. We're getting there though. I mean, we're growing pretty fast on Twitter. You know, we're almost up to 2,500 followers, and we're growing by multiple every day. So maybe we'll hit it. All right, guys. So again, we're dipping down on the SPY here. Just broke under the volume weighted average price. You can see the Dixie start to move up, and we're at 106.80s. All right, guys. So again, SPY testing these lows. Yeah, this is what I was talking about for Tate. It costs $5,000 to join the War Room, which is a Telegram group. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. If everybody's calling it a multi-level marketing scheme, you know, I don't know. Either way, it's all good. Good point. There was a gap up yesterday. I don't know. We'll see if we actually hold these gains. We'll see if we actually hold these gains. Again, I'm expecting a minor pullback here, like a minor dip after these big rips up. So I'm expecting a minor dip afterwards. I'm not sure. Q. Really have no idea whether it's going to push the market up or not. No idea, brother. No idea, man. I hope it does. Dixie starting to bounce back up. SPY starting to dip back down a little bit here. All right, guys. So again, SPY at 396.30s here, 396.30s. The Dixie is at 106.87s. 106.87s. Trying to move here. We'll see if it actually bounces back. The Dixie hit the lows of the last couple of months since August at 106.75s. 106.75s. PSNY, isn't that Polestar? Yeah, look at Polestar fly up here. Did it have earnings? Look at Polestar, up to 570s right now for Polestar. Let me look at to see if this thing had earnings. All right, so yeah, Polestar came out higher third quarter revenue and a narrow and more narrow operating loss is what happened with Polestar. So again, higher third quarter revenue, lower operating loss is what happened here. And Polestar's flying up. Look at it, it's up to 570s right now. SPY starting to dip down here too. What's AUUD up 40% in pre, but doesn't show in top two? What's that up? What is that, Mo? AUUD. It's probably because it has no volume, brother. It probably has no volume, man. This thing doesn't have any volume. It's very, very low volume. It's got less than 1,000 shares traded per minute and doesn't move at all. And so the reason it doesn't have any pre-market activity is volume. If you look at AUUD, it's just a very, very low liquidity stock. There's just no volume here, you know. And so when there's no volume, pre-market doesn't reflect because pre-market only shows up if there's actual volume movement here. And so that's what's going on with AUUD. The dollar index is starting to pop back up, though. It's at 106.80s. Yeah, Chapter 11, Eric. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Musk even said that they might file for Chapter 11. How many times can I trade the same symbol over and over again with a 40,000 account? Well, it depends on what type of symbol. Stock, if you got a 40K account, depends. If you have a margin account, you could theoretically do it as much as you want, but I would reach out to your broker and confirm with them first. Well, I think he's talking about the current state of Twitter right now, I guess is what he's talking about, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. All right, guys. SPY flying up here right now. I don't know if I consider it flying, but the SPY's moving up some. The Dixie's starting to pull back a little bit here. All right, guys. So again, SPY testing highs here. We're only about $3 away from the previous close, or not the previous close. We're only about $3 away from $400 on the SPY. That's the Dixie. It's the dollar index bill. It's DXY. No, it's the DXY. The DXY bill is what it's called. Yeah, all good, Mo. Eli may be figuring out who will wake up. I don't know. That's too political for me. I just stray away from any of that stuff. Market's starting to move up, though. Yeah, did we ever figure out how much Brady actually lost in the FTX deal? All right, guys. The dollar index is down to 106.85s, 106.85s. SPY's at 397s. Wait, is this true, man? Somebody's saying that the failed crypto exchange FTX was ran by 10 people who lived together and were involved romantically with each other. All right, guys. The market's dipping down at the volume weighted average price. We still got a little bit less than an hour before the market opens up. Hopefully, we get some good stuff. Yeah, I made money yesterday. Do you think the dollar index will have a pullback at the opening bell? I'm not sure, Paul. It really depends on what the market does. If the Dixie drops, the market will go up. If the market drops, the Dixie will go up. And so in order for the Dixie to go up at the opening bell, the market would probably have to drop. You know what I mean? And so we'll see if that happens or not. I hope not. I hope the market goes up and the dollar index falls at the opening bell. I think that's what we should all hope for, except for bears who are down, but wow. Coinbase just fell down to 50.5s here. What's Bitcoin doing right now? Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Let me check it out. Also, guys, one thing I'm using to judge momentum is a company called Chart Prime. I use Chart Prime pretty regularly. Very powerful indicator service. Powerful indicator service. If you look at this, they can just be really, really useful. And I'll show you guys how, right? So Chart Prime, number one, it's a trading view indicator service. So you can use it in stocks, crypto, futures, Bitcoin, ETH, Tesla, Apple, Disney, SPY, the S&P 500, whatever you want to use it at. I like using it on the SPY. And so here's the SPY US dollar. All right, this is what I like using it on. Chart Prime is an indicator service, right? So what they do is they have custom indicators on TradingView. Let me pull up a different chart. That's not the right one. Let me just put the SPY up. All right, so here's the SPY, right? It's a custom indicator service. This is what I usually trade. So the S&P 500. If I put Chart Prime, the very basic one is their indicator service, right? Their candlestick service. And I want you to see how accurate this service is, right? Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with it. Nobody can. But just looking at this here. Again, bullish engulfing candle, follow through bounce. Bearish engulfing candle, drop. So it shows you and documents candlesticks. And again, that's the base way to use it. And there's a ton of candlesticks you can use. And if you scroll back through history, it's not right every time. But it can just be really, really powerful in terms of identifying tops and bottoms here. Like, look at this, right? Bearish engulfing, drop. Bullish engulfing, bounce. Bullish engulfing, bounce. Bullish engulfing, bounce, right? And so you can use this for your trading. You can also add, they have custom proprietary algorithms that look up like a lot of other things here. So if we put up this, you can use this with your trading as well, right? So they have predictive algorithms that will predict up or down, down or up, automatically document support or resistance. And just to see how accurate these are as well, you can see the same thing. I like to try to find two together. So possible reversal up and bullish engulfing, nice little bounce. Possible reversal down, nice drop. Possible reversal down, nice drop. And you can keep scrolling back and see how accurate they are. They're pretty accurate. Of course, they're a sponsor of mine, and so I'm certainly biased in their favor. This one was wrong. This one was right. This one was right. These were right. This one was right. This one was right. This one was right. This one was right. And so again, you can kind of see how accurate they are. They're a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service. I'm certainly biased in their favor. But again, they can just be really powerful. If you combine that with your own technical analysis and skill, there's the link. Check them out. Again, I'm certainly biased in their favor. I can't guarantee you're going to make money with them. But again, I think the most useful way to use Chart Prime is to mix it with your own strategies. Like if you use that on top of your other strategies, I think it can help find edge in markets, in my opinion. But check it out if you're interested. You can get 20% off if you use promo code BTRADE. They are a sponsor of my video. Every 30, 45 minutes, we have a sponsor commercial, just like the radio. The radio's free. But every 30, 45 minutes or an hour, you get a commercial. That's what we got here as well. Appreciate the love and support here, of course, guys. Do you think it's possible we get bearish candles at all today? Yeah, of course, man. It's certainly possible. I think in terms of extension, I think we're probably a little extended on the upside short term now. Doesn't mean we're not going to go up, but I think we could be extended. You lost 100,000, Eric. Man. 100,000, bro. Why are you trading so large, man? Unless you're like a millionaire many times over, you should not be losing 100K yesterday, brother. We're not really having any meetings today. Yeah, y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button. Run those like numbers up, team. We appreciate you all. We have about 182 likes. I think we can do a little bit better than that, guys. I think we can do a little bit better. Hit the sub button. Dollar index is falling down. SPY's been pretty neutral today. It is Veterans Day. Shout out to all my veterans. Again, we're kind of in this neutral range, as you can see here if we draw it out. I look at ranges. There's the neutral range we have. And so, again, we'll see if we actually hold or break that neutral range or what we do. But that's kind of what I'm watching right now. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Eric. If that's true, bro, and you lost 100K, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Again, what I will recommend, though, dude, is that you're trading a little bit too large here, man. It depends on how much money you have. If you have $10-20 million, sure, 100K is not that big. But if you have any kind of account size like me, you're trading far too large. And again, day trading is incredibly difficult. And I say this many times a day because it's important for people to understand. If you're not making money, you should not be trading with any significant size. If you have never traded before, under no circumstances should you be trading large size. Under no circumstances. Trading takes a long time to learn. Most people fail. A lot of people learn and still fail. Okay, for years and years. And so some people are just never going to be profitable. And it's very, very important, guys. There's no reason to trade large before you're actually profitable. If you can make $10 a day, you can make 100, you know. But if you try to trade large when you're learning, you're just going to lose so much money. You're just going to lose so much money. It's not worth it. Again, paper trading is a big edge. Trading small is a huge edge. If you want to learn and try to trade markets, these funded account programs and futures are an edge, you know, where you can day trade, you can short, you can get your feet wet, you can see how profitable you are, you can have some pressure to succeed. But if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're only down 100 and something bucks. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Dixie starting to bounce back up. We're at 107s. The SQQQ is the inverse. Shorted NASDAQ futures. NQZ22 wasn't betting the CPI. Shorted on the first hesitation when it was up 4.5%, and it kept going, and I kept scaling into my short position. Oh, man, Eric, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Was it 100,000 real money, or was it demo or paper? John, do you ever use tick movement? No, not really. Well, sorry. I mean, why does it go low right now? What are you talking about, stocks? Why is Tesla tanking? I'm not sure, man. Let me see. Yeah, something happened with Tesla. Some type of bad news happened with Tesla, I'm assuming here. Let me look. Musk says in his tweet his companies are, quote, well-positioned despite possibility of challenging economy in 2023. The Tesla stock was removed from Wedbush's best idea list over Twitter debacle. They said the deal is a, quote, agonizing cycle for investors to navigate. Ford, GM, and Chrysler are working together. Yeah, I don't know why Tesla's dropping like it is. Does anybody know? Yeah, I saw that yesterday, but that news already came out. Tesla just dropped big over the last, starting at about 8:20 market time. Tesla just dropped big. It's all the way down to 188. So I'm trying to figure out why it's trending against the SPY here. The SPY's actually up today and well up. Tesla's down big. I know the bankruptcy stuff. Let me look this up on Twitter. It's ironically a good place to kind of find this data here. Yeah, maybe the only thing I can consider is that Tesla was removed from Wedbush's idea list over Twitter debacle. All right, guys. Sorry, we're back. Who's trolling me? Joe? Elon said it again. Yeah, that might be why. All right, guys. Sorry, my son's home from school today. Yeah, look at Tesla dip though. I mean, I'm surprised the SPY's not dropping down more on all this stuff too. Bro, I turned 1,000 into 1,000,000 in a year. I mean, in crypto maybe. It only went up yesterday because of CPI. Yeah, I mean, this is more than $2 a share. This has dropped down from 195s basically all the way down to 188s, you know. And so that is $7 a share and relatively significant of a drop in my opinion, you know. Yeah, maybe Polestar having a good earnings report is causing Tesla to go up. I know Pawn just sent me that. And maybe that could be relevant for sure in terms of why Tesla's dipping. Let's see when the Polestar numbers came out. because Polestar's actually, I've seen Polestars in my area, right? So Polestar's numbers dropped right around right around 8 a.m. market time. Let's look at it, see when this drop for Tesla started here. 8 a.m. market time is right here. So yeah, this is actually right on. So I think this was actually, there's a few different explanations for this, but this started, here's when Polestar's numbers dropped. Polestar's numbers dropped right here. You know, right here is when Polestar's numbers came out, which is a competitor to Tesla. And so since then, we've got a big negative reaction here. Again, it could be the Wedbush thing. That's certainly possible. Really, it sparked right around 7:20 market time, or 8:20 market time, I mean. It could be that Ford, GM, and Chrysler are working together on EVs, and that's bad for Tesla. And so that could be why, but yeah, if you're losing 100K, Eric, you know, again, man, I'm gonna try to think of the most delicate way to put this. Number one, I'm gonna preface this with it's all relative to your account size, man. You know, if you've made 200K this year, then you know, then it's fine, I guess, right? But for most people, 100K is a lot, man. And so it depends on what your account size is. If your account size is anything less than, you know, 500K, then you know you've had a pretty substantial loss, brother, and you might want to consider giving it up. Trading's not meant for everybody, bro. And so it's also one of the things where, unless you've shown consistent profits long term, you should probably be trading much smaller. I'm not trying to preach, brother. I'm trying to help. You know, if you've been trading, if you haven't shown consistent profits over a long term period, I mean like a year plus, then you know you shouldn't be trading this large. Oh. SPY started to pop up a little bit. It's at 396.70s here again. We'll see what Tesla does, but yeah, Tesla's reeling here, looking rough. Again, it could be Polestar, it could be the bankruptcy, it could be a number of different things, to be honest here. According to Binance, he said more companies could fall in the coming weeks. Bad for crypto, man. All right, guys. So again, Tesla's starting to bounce up a little bit. SPY's still moving up. I think we should watch the dollar index as well here. Dollar index is starting to creep down here. And again, the lows of the last couple months are all the way down at 106.70s. Yeah, I don't know if... Yeah, I can't tell if it's a troll either. It might be. I don't know. Okay, so no, he made more. Okay, 1.6 million in profit off a 1 million account, but I trade way too large. Okay, well you're good, Eric. I mean, listen, man, 100K is not the end of the world for you, then, brother. I'm used to trading much smaller accounts, so you're good, dude. Like you're good, man. Again, I'm not telling you to keep trading. No idea. Not an investment professional. I might have no idea what I'm talking about. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. I have no idea what you should do, Eric. But good luck, brother. Good luck, man. In the end, it's not the end of the world. If you would have had a 200K account and you lost 50%, that's one thing, right? But if you've got millions, and you're up big on the year, then it's just a setback, brother. It's just a setback, man. Good luck. Just remember, I guess if you got an account that large, I'm not saying it's justifiable to trade larger size, but you understand, I'm sure. Just remember, you still probably want to consider scaling down in size, bro. But you trade a larger account than me, so. All right, guys. So we got about 30 minutes until the market opens up. We got about 500 people here. Oh, I'm down under 700K. Oof. Yeah. All right, team. We got about a minute left. Again, SPY at 396.60s here. The Dixie's pretty sideways, neutral here. Coinbase breaking down under $50 a share here, while the whole Bitcoin market falls back down some. Again, we'll see if we get something good now, but patiently waiting here. Hearing chatter that FTX used funds to donate tens of millions of dollars to political elections. Cryptocurrency. Foo. I also hold a couple things in my long-term account. Like I hold some stuff long term, Yeah, man, take a day off, Eric, man. You need it, bro. Again, what I would do, Eric, is I would, if I were you, and again, I'm going to preface this with I am not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose anything. Of course, you always have to make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. Like, we're purely entertainment here, of course. Like, the channel's called Beginner Trading, so naturally we're not out here claiming to be stock experts. Still, though, with all that said and out the way, if I were you, I would scale down size dramatically, and I would trade small until you show consistent long-term profits. That's something you should do. If you're struggling with day trading, swing trading can be powerful. Again, I swing trade large blue chip companies, and the huge edge that you have there is that when you bag hold those companies, most of them will be fine in that regard, right? With penny stocks and with day trading, especially, getting in and out, it can be really, it can toy with your emotions, and so personally, I would scale down my size dramatically, Yeah, 100%. The Binance CEO says the full impact is yet to be felt. I mean, the Binance debacle is going to broadly hurt crypto more than people understand. I mean, the Binance problem, that's going to drastically affect crypto. I've been saying this for years. Again, I made this post on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @BeginnerTrades. I made this post on Twitter a few days ago, and it's still absolutely right. I was very correct. It aged very well. Because what I told people, I said, everybody poking fun at Sam Bankman-Fried at FTX must not understand how much this is going to hurt crypto. And I said this on early in the morning, November 9th. I said, they must not understand how much this will hurt crypto. I am pretty flat in everything until the bull run starts. But for those holding, it is probably going to get much worse when CZ backs out of the non-binding deal. And so sure enough, this was before he backed out. Sure enough, 6 hours later, CZ backed out of that non-binding deal and Bitcoin essentially crashed. Bitcoin essentially crashed. The whole crypto market is going to get hurt by this. It's not just, FTT. It's everybody in crypto is going to get hurt. And so in that regard, it's been a really bad time for cryptocurrency. The market has been really, really struggling. And it's just a really tough market right now. Bitcoin now testing 17K. Again, it's going to hurt Binance too. And so while Binance, I understand they did this, I think Binance is stepping on their own foot. I think they would have probably made more money if they would have just let FTX be FTX and not sparked this problem. Now, of course, FTX was being incredibly irresponsible. But this whole thing is going to not just affect FTX. It's going to affect everything. And there are some possibilities that the whole crypto market goes down with it. I'm not saying that's a high possibility, but it's certainly a possibility. Bitcoin now down to 16.3K, or 17K, I mean. And so it's struggling. It's certainly a struggle for that stuff now. Yeah, he said, I like intraday, but Eric, I'm going to say this. I'm not calling you a gambler. I'm really not. But some people have a gambling mentality with day trading. It can get really, really gambling. If you have a gambling nature, then you probably shouldn't be day trading. And I'm not saying you do. But I'm saying there's certain people that are just not meant to day trade. People who can't stop themselves from trading large, people who gamble on their trading results, and people that can't stop trading are people that should not be day trading because they have a gambling-like mentality. And if you gamble in real life, it's going to translate over to trading. A lot of the reason people trade in general is because they like gambling. That's what brings a lot of people to it. And so certain people are just not meant to day trading. I'm not saying that's you. I'm really not. I don't know you. You know what I mean? But what I'm putting out there is that if you can recognize in yourself a gambling-like nature, you probably shouldn't be day trading, Yeah, Coinbase is falling down at 49.60. It's kind of following the rest of the market down with it. I don't know, Ben. I don't know whether I would hold that or not, brother. No idea what it's going to do. Yeah, I'm not much of a gambler either, man. I really don't like it. I'm a huge, on my Twitter page, you can see I'm a huge trading wimp. Is what it says, trading wimp, because I really am. People get mad at me. This Thinkorswim account's I got about 120K in buying power on this TOS account. People get mad at me. I don't trade larger on it. They get mad I don't trade more or bigger size on it. When the reality of it is I'm a huge trading wimp. I don't like gambling at all. You take me to a casino, the only game I'll play is poker. I don't like anything else. And I'm good at poker too. I make money in poker. I haven't had to deposit money into some poker accounts in years because I'm actually good at poker. I make money at poker. But at the same time, trading can get really difficult. And, if you don't have a feel for what something would do, it's not that I don't have a feel. I can guess, but I don't like telling people what to do. People say, "Hey, John, what should I do here?" No idea. Not an investment professional. No idea. I don't like giving stock picks. I don't like telling people what to do. People can make their own decisions. People want to learn from how I trade. Great. obviously we're not liable if they don't make money. And in that regard, I don't want to be another sleazy guru giving out stock picks. Is frankly what I don't want to be that. I'd rather just tell people I don't know. And with Tesla call options, I'm not really much of an options player. And so with Tesla call options that are expiring today, I have no idea what they should do. You know, Tesla's down a little bit. I really have no idea. What is your trading strategy? Well, it depends. Like I trade a lot of different instruments in trading. I trade stocks, crypto, futures. We day trade futures. We swing trade stocks. And, you know, each one of those have different strategies. With day trading, it's mostly volume weighted average price, trend, momentum strategies, trading with the trend, basically. All right, guys. Yeah, options. I mean, okay. I think options are good in certain ways. Like options can help get around the PDT world to a certain extent. I'm a scalper though, and when I try to trade options, the liquidity is just not really there. I end up losing too much on slippage, and so in that regard, I just end up losing too much on slippage, and so because of that, I just kind of stay away from options because I don't need to trade options because I got 6 figures in buying power on Thinkorswim, so I just don't need to trade options because I have enough equity where I can trade direct stocks directly. So I don't need to take advantage of the buying power implications of options because I have enough equity to not need to, if that makes sense. Not knocking on options. Options can be great, you know. John, whatever happened to your options, buddy? Which one? Oh, Tony? Tony's still out there. I talk to him occasionally. I don't know what he's doing now. You know, my thing, man, like I've had a lot of people work with the channel, a lot of guests come on stream, and guests are great, but like what I've noticed very quickly is that guests, like I always lose viewers. Like even if I have other traders and other content on my streams, right? Like I can put other traders on my stream and other content. I genuinely want to help smaller accounts grow, smaller YouTube, you know, traders grow. But what I noticed is like every time I put somebody else on, I'd lose just so many viewers that it just wasn't good for my channel, you know, to have like a bunch of guests on stream. It was too much to work with. As well as like people have so much expectations, man. It's just hard to like, I've got so many mods here. Like I really do. And I think people want to be mods and they ask me to be mods. And so I let them be mods, but it's like, we're a small YouTube channel, you know, like we got less than 100,000 subscribers. And so it's like, we're not going to be able to hire like a bunch of people to do a bunch of different stuff. Cause frankly, I've hired people before and I've realized it's not really worth it. You know, not knocking anybody that I hired. I just think we're too small. I think the channel's too small to really need anything big like that right now. And I think it's a waste of money to a certain extent to you know, just kind of be paying out a bunch of people where we just don't really need that type of work right now. The channel's too small. And I appreciate all my mods. I genuinely do. I love all the mods, man. Y'all are helping me out great. And if we ever grow to be larger than we are, of course, and we start to really grow big naturally, you know, we're going to need some employees. But until then, and really we need a product for that. And we don't have that yet either. But, you know, I appreciate all the mods, but it's just one of those things where it's like, we're just small. We're a small YouTube channel, you know. I got 1 or 2 mods that I stick with that do a little bit more than regular modding, and, you know, they helped a ton. And, you know, I appreciate all the other ones for sure. The SPY starting to dip down. We're at 396s. Yeah, Tony was a good dude. Tony had a good personality for it too. It was fun, man. He had some fun stuff that he did. How does the trading trend work? I just use the volume weighted average price to identify a trend, and I try to trade with big momentum moves with that. Yeah, I mean, eventually though, yeah, I realized that like it's just easier for me to manage, you know, just having just me on stream, not having a bunch of guests, um, and we still try to help small channels grow, of course. Yeah, I'm not doing a crypto show today, no. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna do a crypto show next week. Crypto channel's growing. Yeah, 100% Tiberius for sure, brother. Yeah, for sure, Scott. Yeah, I mean, I prefer this way. My name is John, Eric. It's all good, man. Yeah, I had a thing up that said told people my name. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, we had it somewhere. Maybe it's under banners. No, brand. No. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, there we go. Thanks for keeping it real. Tired of those channels promising unrealistic results. Yeah, I mean, again, I've been about this. Like, I started this channel 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. It's a little bit misleading seeing I started it 5 or 6 years ago because we started this channel a long time ago and we didn't post for like a year or two, right? So we started it and then we just kind of ignored it, and so we really didn't start posting heavy until like 2016, 2017. So we only started posting big about 4 or 5 years ago. That's when we started streaming and doing like regular stuff. Prior to that, we kind of left it stagnant for a long time, and so the channel age is a little bit longer than it really is. We really only started posting like that about 4 or 5 years ago. CPI is already out, Oliver. It came out yesterday. That drops at 10 a.m. in about 45 minutes. Anthony. You think Robinhood is a buy or wait? Yeah, a lot of people talk about Hood here. Again, Hood apparently had some type of big position in FTX, and it's getting kind of dragged down with it, apparently, or something like that, right? It was something, or maybe it was vice versa. But you can see once this FTX news started, this thing just fell drastically, fell pretty drastically. And Bitcoin's still falling down too today. So Bitcoin and crypto are still struggling. I'm not a huge believer in Robinhood for a few different reasons, for a number of different reasons. The main reasons for Robinhood is that Robinhood used to be different. It used to be an anomaly. It used to be something where nobody else actually had zero commission trading. Market's starting to fall down. It's down to 396. After that, though, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Schwab, every major brokerage for the most part offers zero commission trading. And so in that regard, Robinhood is no longer unique. And I think the platform, I think when you're no longer unique, you have to compare features. And when we pivot over to Robinhood's features, I think they're in the bottom in terms of charting. They're in the bottom in terms of platform. They're in the bottom in terms of support. And so what's the argument for people to use Robinhood outside of TD Ameritrade or outside E-Trade or outside Schwab? I don't know if there's much of one. Maybe the platform is beginner friendly is the only argument I can really see, but I don't know if that's going to help them sustain and survive. The other argument could be that their options trading is really intuitive and the UI is really nice for options. And I do agree. I like UI for Robinhood on options, but I don't know if it's enough to justify them being some powerhouse of a brokerage, The guy had a 10% stake in Hood. Yeah. And so that's basically been falling down since then. Yeah, I see it. It is what it is, All right, guys, we're going to get ready to trade futures today. We are going to get ready to trade futures. Be ready. Oh, I did forget to tell you guys, I had a pretty big loss in futures. I'm still green in the account, but we lost like $1,000. the day before yesterday. I forgot to tell you guys this. Honestly, I was kind of moody about it. Just needed like a day to kind of sit on it. We ended up making some back, and we're still green in the account. We're not actually down that much, and the graph is still very profitable. I'll show you guys the graph, but we did lose a substantial amount. Still green in the account, but I took some swings and got a little frustrated, which happens, but we're still green in the account, so we'll take it. But yeah, not really what we wanted to see, of course. You know, I mean, here's my graph. And so graph is still very nice. We're still very green in it. But yeah, just took some losses, unfortunately. And we're going to try to scale up in size. We've been trying. Yesterday was a green day, so we'll take the green day yesterday. The benefit of, though, is that we've had a really nice cushion in the account already. So, like, we already had a big cushion. Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert or anything like that. My account's still green and my graph is still nice. And so the benefit of me scaling up in size is that I had a really nice cushion to swing into. And so it's all good. It happens. All right, guys. SPY breaking lows right now again. Look at the market breakdown. So this is the E-mini. So this is the S&P 500 futures contract. I don't know how accurate this stat is, but I've seen some studies claim that only 5% of day traders are actually profitable. I actually believe that. 100% agree. Have you seen TTCF results? I imagine that Jeremy Financial Education must be really down on his position. What's TTCF? Tattooed Chef? Yeah, I mean, I'm not an investor in penny stocks, man. You know? Penny stocks are just usually losing endeavors. Mid caps as well. Mid caps get a lot of traders in trouble because mid caps, you think they're good companies, and a lot of the time they're not. You know, a lot of the time they're just up and coming companies, and things can change so long. The benefit of blue chips is that they're time tested. You know, the benefit of blue chips is that their business models are time tested. With mid caps, a lot of the time that's not the case. A lot of the time they sprout up short term and make runs, and you know, it's just not something. Again, when I buy companies. I invest in large blue chip companies. That's it. I won't buy anything else. I won't trade anything else for the most part. And I certainly stray away from mid caps as well. Bankruptcy for FTX. Well, yeah, everybody knew that was coming. They were insolvent. Yeah, Chapter 11 reorganizational bankruptcy, according to FTX. If you want to see the press release, we just retweeted it on Twitter at Beginner Trades. Sam Bankman-Fried also resigned as CEO. Duh. That's obviously going to happen. Wow. Hey, thank you so much, Star. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it for sure. Hey, man, do you know what the Michigan Consumer Center report is? Yeah, so I'm just going to read you what it means. The Consumer Sentiment Report is an index composed by survey results comparing the relative level of both current and future economic projections and conditions. There are two versions. It's released 2 weeks apart, prelim and revised. So this is going to be prelim data that comes out today. The prelim data tends to have a greater impact that is more timely. The reading is compiled from a survey of around 500 consumers. Stronger than forecast is generally supported for the US dollar again. But consumer sentiment, it's one of those things where we're in this weird nuance of market where higher could be interpreted as worse and lower could be interpreted as better. Although at the same time, expectations for consumer expectations are 56. Consumer sentiment expected to come in at 59.5. So again, it's a weird nuance where higher could be interpreted as worse and lower could be interpreted as better. The market is falling back down some. Again, I told you guys I thought we might be a little bit extended on the upside at this point in time just because of how much movement we've had lately. You know, I think we could be considered extended on the upside. But we're up so much already, honestly, over the last day or two that I don't think it matters too much. Thank you for becoming a member star. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. John, how do you explain future swings of 200 points that happen sometimes? I mean, it depends on what you're trading. If it's volatile, you scale down your size. Is what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's something that the biggest skill of a trader is your ability to cut losses. You know, and again, the mistake I made the other day was I didn't cut my loss when I should have. I tried to trade the regular E-mini and I didn't cut my loss when I should have. But the whole benefit is that I had such a large cushion that I'm still very much into the green and we're still fine. Yeah, well, I think everybody knew FTX was insolvent, but I think the bankruptcy news is a little bit more. It's a little bit larger. You know what I mean? All right, we're also going to throw it in sub-only mode here. We got 8 minutes until the opening bell, guys. 8 minutes. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button. We certainly appreciate it. Everybody announce yourself. Show us that you're subscribed, team. We certainly appreciate the love and support. Hit that sub button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate you all. Hey, thank you, Steve, Psycho. Hey, my guys. Thank you, X. May. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Tiny. Hey, hope you're doing good, Tiny. Hope you guys have had a good week this week. Why is the market tanking? Tiberius, don't do it. Standard skateboard. Hey, what's up, bro? Thank you, man. Hey, thank you, Wild Wild West. All good, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, thank you, Scott. Thank you, John. What time frame is VWAP? I think mine is a 12-hour VWAP. Wayne, Walter, Chris, thank you, team. We appreciate it. Yeah, good, Kyle. I had that happen to me the other day, brother. Hey, what's up, Joe? Yeah, best troll ever. Brenda, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, Murphy. Okay, so Twitter and them are laying people off. How would it affect their stock? I don't know. The other day, Meta was laying people off, and it actually benefited their stock. So, I don't know. Twitter doesn't have a stock right now, to put it into perspective. Twitter is now a private company. Twitter hasn't traded since late October. And so Twitter's been private for a while now. Conrad, best trading channel ever. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you. What's up, Cheeky? My guy. Thank you, dude. But yeah, crypto market is fading right now, guys. Crypto market is definitely fading. And again, if you want to check out what I use, check out Chart Prime, man. Chart Prime can be really, really powerful too, man. Again, what I use on the SPY here. So here's the SPY right here. What I use on the SPY is their indicator service, and you can use their candlestick patterns to kind of identify where tops and bottoms might be. I love using it to just find tops and bottoms here. You know, if we look at this, let me see if I can show you some good examples of the tops and bottoms that you can see on here. You can kind of see, like, look at these tops and bottoms on Chart Prime here. So again, here's a bottom, bounce, bearish engulfing, drop, bullish engulfing, bounce. And so again, you can kind of see, you can predict chart tops and bottoms pretty well on Chart Prime. And that's not even including if you put up their predictive algorithm. And there's a ton of, this is only a small percentage. If you put up their predictive algorithm with their market oracle, this is only a small percentage of the overall like benefits of it. There's just so much different stuff you can use. This will predict directions. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, of course, but like possible reversal down and bearish engulfing. So we have two at once. Really nice drop. Bullish engulfing, we get the bounce. Bullish engulfing, we get the bounce. So just going to be really powerful. And again, if you want to check out Chart Prime, they are a sponsor of mine. I'll post this link. We only have two sponsors, guys, Chart Prime and Top Step. And, you know, we try to wait, you know, decent amounts of time in between. But if you want to check it out, there's a link. You can also find the link in the description. FTX filing for bankruptcy, team. 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes. They are a sponsor of mine, though. I'm certainly biased in their favor for Chart Prime, of course, guys. I always try to tell people that so they understand. But yeah, we're also trading on Top Step right now. And Top Step is the best funded account program in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, FTX filing for Chapter 11 is tanking the whole crypto market down right now. We also have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report dropping today, guys, so y'all be ready for that. All right, guys, less than 2 minutes. All right, guys. We got some stuff dropping today. Putting these numbers up on screen. We do have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index dropping in about 30 minutes. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, guys. I got a minute and a half. I'll be right back. All right, I made it back in time. Hey, what's up, AJ? Good luck, brother. Good luck today. Yesterday was a bagger of a day. Yeah, crazy day. All right, team. Here goes the opening bell, guys. Good luck, team. Now, we've got about 470 people here, Joe. So almost 500 people spending their morning with us today. Yesterday, we had like 5,000 people. It was a crazy day, man. Absolutely crazy day. All right, guys, here's the open. Good luck, team. So far, leading into the open, we got a small little bit of a bounce. Again, there's the open. Here's the S&P 500 moving up a little bit after the opening bell. We also got to watch I'm going to be watching the dollar index. SPY and Q just pumped up some at the open, but who knows if we'll actually hold these gains now. Big upwick retracement here. Look at the big upwick retracement. All right, get a little bit of a pullback at the opening bell here, team. Big upwick retracement, kind of consolidation here. The volume weighted average price is a little bit up there. So we're going to let that play out first. We're also watching the dollar index probably move up some at the open. Yeah, so the dollar index pulled a little bit of a red to green looking move so far. SPY is dipping down here. Here's the lows of the day right here. I think that's an important level to watch. We're testing that low of the day level now. We're right around it here. We'll see if we actually hold support there or not. All right, so we just broke under that low of the day area, guys. So just broke the lows of the day here. Completely retraced it, though, and starting to head back up, guys. All right, broke back under the low of the day here. Dollar index is moving back up some. And again, I thought we were a little bit extended on the upside. The previous close, guys, let's look at the previous closing price. Very relevant metric here. The previous closing price, let me see if it'll show it on the chart. So it's not going to show it here. So we got, again, we just retraced it all the way back up. The previous closing price is about right here. Is the previous close. So again, we'll watch that level here. We'll see if we get something good. We did retrace that, which is good. That's a bullish sign that we might head up on, hopefully. Maybe not, though. No idea what we're going to get. Still patiently waiting here. Not trading anything yet. All right, starting to test that low of the day area again that we just broke. And now we just broke back underneath it here. Again, we'll see if we break that low and hold here. Starting to move. Again, we're going to let things play out first. We're not going to push too heavily waiting for anything like this to happen right now. All right, guys, so we're the previous close is actually right here. Let me correct it. So it's actually right there. So we're actually testing that previous closing price level now. And so we're actually testing that previous closing level now, a big influential level. I'm going to do something I very rarely do, which is that I'm going to buy this pullback to it and see if we bounce right here. So I'm buying it under VWAP, and I'm looking to see if we bounce back up. Yep, there we go. All right, so we just made a little bit there. Again, maybe that's a dip buy I might start considering. We bought the previous closing price exactly where we documented that level, and look at exactly where we bounced back up here. So we drew that level exactly what we drew that level before we bounced there, guys, to put it into perspective. Before we made this bounce, we drew that level out, and look at exactly where we bounced. Technicals. There we go. Starting to bounce back a little bit. Opening red, but maybe we're going to pull a red to green move here. And if we do, I'll go long, of course. Starting to retrace a little bit. That's a weak sign here. We might load into some more shorts right now. Take two contracts here, see if we reject. At that level, we got a big upwick influencing. Ooh, man, that's not good. We'll give it one more second, see if we reject, which we just did, so that's nice. We're going to pile into a little bit more trades. A little bit risky of a trade, but we got 4 contracts here. We're just looking for a rejection back down to the previous closing price is what we're looking for. We got 2 big upwicks indicating momentum on the downside. There we go, starting to dip. Need a little bit larger drop for me personally here to really feel comfortable in it. Took a little bit off, got 2 contracts left. Catching some really nice breakdowns. All right, just made about $35, $40 on there, catching that momentum on the downside here. Testing that previous closing price again. Again, I'm not going to take any trades until we either break under the previous closing price or bounce here. Again, where did we bounce again? Exactly at that level. Dollar index is still pretty steadily moved up, though. And again, I think it was a little extended on the downside at this point in time. All right, another upwick rejection here. This might signal a break of this previous closing price. I'm going to short this. 2 contracts. Not going to hold it for very long, though, because if we don't break under this, I got to cut it. We're just approaching it now, and I think that's close enough to want to short it, but I'm going to short it again. We're right at that previous closing price level. We got 4 contracts now. Ideally, looking for a breakdown underneath it is what we're looking for. That's what we're shooting for with this trade. Slightly green. I'm going to give it time to break. It's at that level now here. All right, took half off. All right, took the other half. I just made another $20 bill from this trade, attacking the momentum here. Let me make sure this is my actual P&L today. I don't think that was. Let me make sure. I think we're up a little bit under 100. Yeah, we're up 70 on the day. Here's the P&L right now. Testing that previous closing price, break it down. We are now underneath it. So I'm going to take a small position, basically betting that we're going to break down here. We pop right back over to cut it, but I want to see if we rejected the previous closing price first. We're now technically red on the day. And yeah, big follow through bounce. So it's still green, but that big bounce kind of took away a little bit of the profit here. We get a big upwick rejection under this level. We're going to short a little bit heavier in here. 4 contracts now. And I'm trying to size up a little bit my size. I do not want to see a complete turnaround, though. That's definitely not what I want to see. There we go. Big upwick weakness. Big upwick rejection here. About break even on this. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this, I think. All right, so yeah, we're out. Consolidating a little bit too much since then. About break even on the day, I think. Now, let me see. Slightly red, but not much. Again, we got to let the trend play out first. We're kind of tapping it. What's to hold that level? I think Pawn was right. We do want to hold that spot. And so we've slightly downtrended at the open, but we're still pretty neutral, in all honesty. We're consolidating over the previous closing price. We're moving sideways. It is Veterans Day, so I don't know if we're varying anything yet. I think we're pretty neutral right now. I don't think we're going to be bullish until we break over this level here. And we did make money yesterday. I don't think we're going to be bullish until we break over the VWAP and like here. If we hold that, like if we hold the VWAP here, then that's a good sign. And we'll see if we actually do. But we did make money yesterday. If you guys see this, we did make about a little bit under 200 yesterday. So we might lose a little bit in the first hour or two, or in the first 30 minutes or so, but we usually make it back if we keep pushing. We've also increased our base size. Big rejection here. Tap the previous closing price again, but we're going to give it time to break it this time. There we go. Underneath it now. Took half off there. Took another half off there. Caught the breakdown. Back green again on the day. We just broke out of that previous close. Hey, for sure. Shout out to all the veterans who work hard for the country here. All right, big breakdown, though, at the open. It's not huge. I mean, we're still at 390s, you know. But as I said many times today, I thought that the momentum was on the downside today. And that's exactly what we got. That's the only way you can really judge what we're going to do at the opening bell is if we make such powerful moves the day before. A lot of the time the next day at the opening bell, we're going to dip a little bit. All right, we got the University of Michigan Consumer Center report dropping in about 20 minutes. So y'all be ready for that. Two contracts now. Candle just looks weak. Tech's actually starting to bounce back a little bit, more so than the SPY is. Starting to test these lows. I don't really like my entry here, though. It's taking a little bit too long to hit my levels. I'll let it try to break down, but I don't really like my entry here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cut that. Again, I told you guys I didn't really like my entry. Luckily, I cut it pretty fast, or it would have been a larger loss. We get this big upwick, though. I do like that. So I'm going to let this test. If we get a big upwick up here like that, I'm going to short into it. I don't really like that. We retraced it. We're going to cut that and take small losses. That's a weak sign, though. We got a big upwick here. We'll short on the bounce back to it. Man, I'm getting chopped out a little bit. I'm probably going to have to wait. Maybe until the consumer sentiment report drops. All right, about break even here. These upwicks are good because they mean downward momentum, but if they don't actually break, it doesn't mean much. So we need a break, actually. So we're green on it, but let's see if we get the break. And we're not really. All right, that's better. Get the flush. I like these big upwicks. It's indicative of weakness. But they're not following through is the only question. The only thing that makes me want to get out is that they're not following through. I like that they're staying down, though. Weak chart. All right, so we cut it. A little $15 gain there. It's just taking too long to break. We're just kind of poking around here, guys. Taking small size, trying to catch the little breakdowns if we can. All right, just made a little bit more. Dollar index starting to rip up. What are we doing today? Yeah, so we're up about 30 bucks, pretty small. Kind of poking around here, team. Taking some trades, riding the downward momentum, but yeah, thank you. Hey, thank you for your service, Tyler. We do have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index numbers dropping in about 15 minutes. I mean, the market's down right now. Q was starting to pull up, so tech is actually doing a little bit better. Dollar index is still moving up. That's the bearish part. Getting a little pop back up. Yeah, we do long-term, Dallas. Again, my favorite long-term company is Disney. Probably. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Disney. All right, tech is starting to rebound here. Again, let's watch the previous closing price, which we've conveniently drawn right here. As a swing trader, you've taken more trades than I do in a month. Fun to watch, but day trading's not my thing. Yeah, it's all good, Scott. Like I said, I swing trade too, brother. I'm actually doing much better on my swing tradings than my day tradings lately. Again, on my swing trades, just to put it into perspective, I bought Disney 3 times. I got out of my last Disney trade where I bought it at 88. So I sold at like 91 or a little bit under 91 for the rest of it. We just popped over the previous closing price. So that was one of them. Another one of my Disney trades, I bought it at 91.60s. I sold it at 100. I bought Snapchat at the high 7s, low 8s, and sold it just under $10. I bought Google after earnings and rode that back quickly. I bought Amazon after earnings and rode that back quickly. And I think I got into Google twice and made money. I've only lost money 2 times. in the or really once actually. So we only lost money once in the last 2 months of swing trading, and that I can remember. I might be off of this, but I'm pretty sure out of maybe 10 swing trades, we've only had one loss, which was Meta. We bought Meta after the earnings drop, and then we sold the next morning. It would have worked too if we would have held it, but yeah, that was the one swing trading loss that we've had. And if we would have held it, it would have made money. But we swing trade a lot. My swing trading has actually been a little bit better than my day trading has lately, to be honest. This is just poking around. There's commission here, but it's negligible, you know. Really, if you want zero commission, you got to trade larger. If you want commissions to be less of a factor, you got to trade larger size. Right now, the market's starting to rebound completely, though. So the tech market is really what's starting to rebound here. So the tech is actually green since market open. So the tech market is actually green since market open. And so you'll see like the Q starting to rebound back up here, and other broad market ETFs. The S&P 500 is doing a little bit worse. And so we're just going to kind of take our hands off until we do something. We're right at VWAP now for the SPY. Yes. Yeah, you have commissions on Top Step. All right, so pulling a little bit of a red to green move here. Remember, guys, it is Veterans Day, and so we might see something like this, and I'm just going to call this now. Again, I don't know what we're going to get, but we could get something like this where we break over highs, consolidate, break back under lows, consolidate, break back under highs, consolidate, break back under lows, consolidate, break back over highs, and just kind of keep doing that sideways kind of neutral trend for a while now. It is Veterans Day. The volume in the market is going to be noticeably lower than normal, I think, today. At least conventionally, that's what we get for Veterans Day. Again, I'm not sure if that's what we're going to get today, but it's certainly a possibility. Snapchat back up to almost $11 a share. Again, tech's kind of moving here. The Q pull it back a little bit, though. Q kind of looks okay. Q looks strong. Market's starting to do okay. AMC ripping back up, too. AMC all the way back up to 650. When's Tesla back up? Ooh, I don't know about Tesla, man. Tesla got hit hard. Tesla's still technically red and sideways mostly. It's underperforming the Q. It's underperforming the rest of the tech market as well. SPY's starting to head back up, though. Yeah, remember, consumer sentiment in 10 minutes, guys. Yeah, all good, Wayne. You can ask questions now, man. I'm just kind of sitting back. I'm not really day trading at this point in time. We might trade in a little bit, but I got to let a pattern show up first. Right now, we're trend changing. We're changing trends. You can see the volume weighted average price right here, team. And so when we start to break over this level like this, like we are right now, that means that we're changing trends. And so I don't really trade neutral trends, or I try not to. Sometimes I do, of course. But we're starting to change a trend. And so we don't really have an edge in any specific direction. If we tap this level, though, if we break this level here and we hit it and then we pull back, I might buy that dip. Small size, though. So we tap that and pull back. Right now, I'll buy that dip. But if it doesn't work, I got to just cut it. All right, so there's a small pullback. All right, so there's the tap. We just tapped that level. Again, now we need a little bit of a pullback to capitalize on it. All right, so we tap that level. Again, we need a little dip. We don't really have it yet. Big dip in tech just happened. All I got in one contract here. The Q just tapped the 200 moving average as well. All right, 2 contracts. We're going to slowly scale into maybe 3 or 4 contracts here and take a little swing. Again, we'd honestly like a little bit larger of a pullback so we can scale into some more and then try to attack an upward trend if we start to hit it, but kind of consolidating at that level we drew. There's the break. We'll give it some time though. Not quite enough for us to take profit on yet. All right, took a little bit off. Got 1 contract left. There we go. All right, took the rest off. Made about $20, a little bit under 20 just now on that dip. Again, on the day, we're up right now about 50. Pretty small. Looking for a little bit more. Tesla's starting to bounce back. Look for another little dip here if we can. Yeah, are you saying that just because we're going up though, Wild West? All right, we have 4 contracts here on the pullback, swinging into the profit we currently made. And what we do, guys, is we try to build up a cushion first. And so we'll build up a cushion of profit, and then we'll take some size into that cushion. We'll get up to 5 contracts here if we find something good enough. And again, the job is to add risk when we have profit on the day to protect ourselves from big drawdowns. You know, that way, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. We're back down to break even. But if we make money, we can have a nice green day. So we're in 5 contracts total now. We'll give it time to bounce a VWAP here. The market's starting to turn. All right, so we're going to have to cut that. We're down less than 100 on the day. It's exactly what I predicted here this morning, which is that we might get something like this, unfortunately, where we get down, up, down, up, down, up. And again, luckily, we only swung once we had good cushion on the day. But what that means is that we're kind of neutral right now, and that means that we can't really trade anymore. The market's flagging a neutral trend. We tried to bet on the upward trend right here, basically the pullback to the volume weighted average price and look for a bounce there. And it might retrace for some reason and come back. But the SPY is looking neutral. We're right over the previous closing price, the Q, so tech is starting to break down too. So we got to be patient. We also have the consumer sentiment report, which hopefully will break us out of this neutral trend in maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, so we got 5 minutes, guys. Yeah, also, guys, remember it's Veterans Day. And so as we said a few different times today, it might be one of those markets where we're just kind of choppy and neutral today. It might be one of those markets where we're just sideways because the volume's less. People are leaving for long weekends and stuff like that today for Veterans Day. They're going out to the beach or whatever they want to do for Veterans Day. And so in that regard, like, we might get fake outs, choppiness, neutral activity. And that's understandable. That's kind of what happens on days like today. But we do have 4 minutes or less until the U of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, about 3 minutes. I would take a trade right now that we've kind of bounced all the way back up. We broke under VWAP and then we bounced all the way back up. But again, with the University of Michigan Sentiment Index coming out soon, I think it's important to just stay sideways. Or it's important to stay flat right now. We don't know how much this is going to impact markets. Market rebounded all the way back up, though. Looks good. Faked me out under VWAP and then moved immediately back up. Still, we're going to give it time for the Michigan index to come out first because that might influence markets a little bit too heavily, throw off my trades, if that makes sense. It comes out in 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes before it comes out. And again, it'll influence markets some to what degree, I'm not sure. No, I don't use the 10-day moving average, Eric. I use the 200. I don't find the 10-day has much influence over markets. I use the volume-weighted average price as my indicator, which is usually a little bit more steady. The reason I don't like using short-term moving averages is because what I've found is that they don't have too much of an edge. You know, long-term ones do because a lot of people look at the long-term ones, but moving averages, the problem with them is that you got the 8, the 10, the 12, the 20, the 18, the 15, the EMA, the SMA, the 20, the 25, the 30, all that stuff. And so it's really hard to find consolidated volume of traders that are watching the same one. And so I look at the volume weighted average price mostly because when traders look at the VWAP, most of the time they're looking at the same one, as opposed to the moving average where you essentially have to guess which one that the traders are watching. And so it just doesn't make sense. And in technical trading, you're trying to predict what everybody else is doing. And when there's so many different variations of moving averages, it's hard to. We got less than 2 minutes, guys. We got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left before this data drops. Again, let's get ready. Again, it might be something where if these numbers come in higher than expected, we get good action, or lower than expected bad action. But I'm not really sure how the market interprets this. We got less than 1 minute, though, guys. And again, we're going to cover it live here as it happens, so be ready. All right, guys, be ready. 45 seconds. We also have Michigan 5-year inflation expectations, which will be relevant as well. Again, consumer expectations for November are expected to come in at 56. Consumer sentiment for November at 59.5. Current conditions for Michigan at 64. Michigan inflation expectations last time was 5%. 10 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds, really. All right, guys, here's this data. All right, here's the data. So Michigan consumer sentiment came in at 54.7, lower than expected. It's now tanking the market down, 54.7, lower than expected. Michigan current conditions came in lower than expected as well at 57.8. Consumer expectations came in at 52.7. And so actually we're getting an upward response here, which I guess is kind of like I said, where if we come in lower than expected, it might make the market go up. Right now, we're getting some response, but it's kind of a neutral response back and forth right now. Long up wicks and down wicks here. But it looks to be slightly being interpreted as positive. It's one of those numbers that we don't really know how we're going to get affected by it. Again, we showed up at 54.7 for consumer sentiment, 52.7 for expectations. 5.1% for the 1-year inflation expectations. And again, tech is moving up big. We're going to put these numbers up on screen so you can see them here, guys, so bear with me. All right, so we're going to put these numbers up on screen so you can see them. You can subscribe if you want free market data. We put this out every day. As soon as we get some good data, we drop it. Yeah, for sure, Mike Jones. Again, so sideways neutral activity, but we did react some in the markets to this. All right, market's starting to correct back down though here now, starting to drop here in markets. Again, subscribe if you haven't already, guys. We appreciate you all. All right, so we're kind of letting this consolidation play out. Again, mostly sideways neutral activity. BlockFi has hired bankruptcy counsel today. Again, starting to kind of move up. We're at VWAP right now. Again, still pretty neutral here, team. Yeah, volatility increased, but we're still neutral. Is this a good sign or bad sign for the market? Well, it's a little bit more nuanced than just good or bad. In high inflationary markets, I guess we want to see sentiment high. And so having lower than expected sentiment and expectations is going to be seen as worse. Now, conditions prelim, that lower number might be seen as better. But again, we're all speculating here. I'm really not sure how the markets are going to interpret this data. It's just kind of like Eric said, honestly, it's just going to spark a little bit more volatility right now. All right, started to creep up a little bit. Again, still pretty sideways though, team. All right, so we're starting to tap a little bit higher here. This is good. We're going to start to bet on this upward trend now. And maybe that was the mistake. But we pivoted right back up. Again, the volatility might cause us to break highs. We're over the 200 EMA and the Q. Again, very small trading right now. Very small trading. Let me take a little bit more. See if we can pop that high. There we go. Oh, I tried to take profit and I wasn't able to. But we'll give it time. I like this move. Looks like that was the right move. Nice. Just made about 25 bucks. Caught the bounce. That's nice. We finally got some type of volatility to capitalize on, but look for a little pullback to dip buy into. Well, not the sentiment. The sentiment you probably want to see high. I'm talking about conditions might be good for inflation if conditions are lower. But it's all variable, I guess. All right, we bought those little dip, and it's turning on us pretty fast here. I like the big down wick. We'll take 3 contracts into that, see if we get a rebound up here. I'll break even here. See if we pop back up, test the top of the range. But again, we're kind of neutral right now because of the Veterans Day, so we're not gonna. We're going to cut out of that before it gets really bad. Yeah, so we're probably done trading for the day. I just don't find there's much edge right now. Very neutral day, kind of what we predicted. But it's a pretty small loss, so we're okay regardless. But the only way we'll consider trading again is if we kind of like completely reverse trend and then head back down. Then we might trade. But for now, we're down very small amounts. And so because of that, we'll probably just kind of sit on our day. Pretty neutral. Market's chopping up and then down and then up and down. It's also Veterans Day, so lower daily volume. So y'all just be careful today. Don't push too hard. Again, guys, we are trying to get funded on TopStep. TopStep is the most legitimate funded account program in the world, in my opinion. If you look at TopStep, they did update their website to kind of show you how legitimate they are. What they do is they give you a demo. And if they have different challenges, they'll give you a demo. And if you can hit their target on the demo while following their rules and conditions, and they fund you. The demos range from 50K to up to over 100K. And if you pass those challenges, they'll fund you the same amount. So the base one, you'll get 50K in funding. The top one, you get 150K. If you look at this here, they have trading plans. So I think regardless of whether you get funded or not, it's going to make you a better trader, in my opinion, right? Since 2020, they have paid out millions of dollars in withdrawals, not in funding, but in actual withdrawals, millions of dollars. They fund on average 600 plus traders a month. They've been around for over 10 years. The minimum time to get funded is 8 days. Average payout is processed in 7 hours. And again, I'm in this 150K one. So again, my loss today is very small, but the base one's very cheap. If you use it, you can get 20% off if you use my link. The base one, the ratio is pretty reasonable as well. If you make your goal is to make 3K in profit without losing over 2K total, without losing over $1,000 on any particular day. And I think, I think that's a reasonable ratio. Having to make 3K without losing 2K total with trailing is a very reasonable ratio, in my opinion. 5 contracts max is plenty. I'm trading the micros. If I trade the regular, 5 contracts is the equivalent of 5,000 shares plus, in stocks. It's kind of the stock market equivalent. But remember, there's no PDT rule in futures. And so you can day trade, you can short, a lot of ways to make money. In the futures market, there's no PDT restrictions in futures, and you can essentially trade the S&P 500 like I'm doing right now in the E-mini. And so if you want to check it out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. I'm certainly biased in their favor because I get a commission if you sign up through me, and so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But if you want to check it out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Right now, we're very consolidation. We're very much consolidation right now, kind of neutral activity. All right, starting to creep up towards the high again. Kind of neutral, though. Whenever you see the VWAP here, guys, just to put this in perspective, you guys want to see how you can identify the neutral activity. If you see the volume-weighted average price, which is this yellow line right here, this yellow line right there, If you can see that, that's the VWAP, right? When the stock is going over and under this volume weighted average price, this VWAP, this purple line again right here, is a trend identifier. Okay, so what this means is that whenever, like, if we're in a downward trend, for instance, the VWAP is going to move like this underneath the VWAP, right? So you'll be able to reject that volume weighted average price and confirm that we're in a downward trend. It's going to be obviously more down than that. It's going to look like this. And the VWAP would be like right here, for instance, right? But right now, whenever we get neutral trends, we get chops over and under and over and under and over and under, right? And what that's signifying is a neutral choppy trend. All right, and it's important logic to understand in trading. It's a very important logic. Neutral choppy trend. Market's starting to break those highs again, though. Again, we're not quite in the realm of me really wanting to trade this yet. Yeah, we're starting to test highs. Again, I'm just kind of sitting back here. Patience. Q is looking good, though. So tech's looking a little bit better than the SPY, I would say. What's Tesla doing here? How's Tesla reacting to this? PayPal's still ripping up. But again, for those getting really mad about PayPal, I mean, PayPal's been down so much already that, like, even this rebound, it's still down very big over the last, like, let me see. When the market was very green over the last 20 days, PayPal was only break even, right? So PayPal is probably kind of extended on the downside in that regard, is my guess for PayPal here. All right, guys. So Q just broke highs. So the Qs just broke highs of the day. So it doesn't go by pennies; it goes by ticks, Wayne. And so in the futures market, it depends on the contract. Right now, I'm trading the micro E-mini. For every tick up and down, it goes. It's $1.25 in profit or losses. And so in that regard, if I have 2 contracts, it's $2.50. If I have 4, it's $5. Right? So it's $1.25 per tick in contracts, per contract tick. But that's per instrument, right? If I was trading the regular E-mini, it'd be $12.50 per tick, right? So two contracts would be $25. 4 would be $50. So $12.50 in profit or loss per tick, right? So if I have 2 contracts, it's $25. If it goes against me 1 tick and I have 2 contracts of the regular E-mini, then I lose $25. If I have 4 contracts and it goes in my direction 1 tick, then I make $50, so forth and so on, right? But aside from that, that's the only main difference in futures outside of stocks is that, the tick size is that. Aside from that, it's buy market, buy bid, sell ask. No PDT restrictions, and essentially day trading as usual, just like you would trade the stock market. What made you feel like the market was overbought, if you didn't mind me asking? Well, I don't know if I was mentioning that we're in long-term overbought. I didn't know if we were long-term overbought. I just thought short-term, leading into the opening bell, we'd probably get some profit taking and some pullbacks. Now, I don't know what we're going to do. And of course, I still don't know what we're going to do. But in that regard, I was right, because at the opening bell, we did get, some pullbacks. Now, at the same time, though, I think longer term, like over the last year, we're probably a little bit extended on the downside still. And that's what I said this morning, where shorter term, we might have been extended on the upside, so we might have corrected a little bit at the opening bell. But long term, the SPY is still very much red over the year, and we're not just going to keep going down. A lot of bears in here think the market's just going to crash, and most of the time they're wrong. And again, it takes over time. I think they kind of realize, like, hey, look, all these people preaching doom and gloom are usually wrong. Like, they've been doing this every year for the last 5 years. People are predicting that the whole market's going to crash. Like, and as a YouTuber, I see it more than anybody because I see what keywords are trending, right? Last year, 2020 stock market crash, 2021 stock market crashed, and 2019 stock market crash, 2018 stock market crash. And so I see it pretty consistently in these markets nonstop. And so because of that, like I actually have bias the other way because most of the time they're wrong. And Top Step is a day trading challenge, Wayne, and so it's purely day trading, you know. Right. So even if they're right about the crash this year, a lot of them have been betting that the stock market is going to crash every year for 5 years. So they're still 20%. They're still running 20% accuracy, you know, and that's just the truth, you know. But anyways, guys, I'm rolling out of here. Listen, love you all. Have a great weekend. Again, we had our largest stream ever yesterday for CPI. We had over 5,000 people here. And so I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. We will hit 100,000 pretty soon. We're almost up to 92,000 already. Still got almost 2 months left until the end of the year. I'd love to hit 100K this year. We'll see if we do. Love you all. Have a great day, guys. If you want to check out Top Step or Chart Prime, great indicator services. Top Step is a great funded. It's the most legitimate funded account program in the world. Check out the link in the description. Love you all. Y'all have a good day. And yeah, we'll see you guys a little bit later. Good luck.